A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll move to the scene of the mystery fire at the waterfront, where Tim Collins, rookie fireman, and the officer of Engine Company 209 are confronted with one of the hardest puzzles a fireman has ever called upon to solve. The problem of a fire they cannot locate, even though clouds of smoke betray its presence at some point unknown beneath the surface of the dock. Before we join the search, here's an important message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the midnight black tunnel under the dock, where you remember Tim Collins, rookie fireman, and Lieutenant Greenspan are poling their boat along, threading their way among huge wooden piles that block their progress and cut them off from the light of day. Just a moment ago, Lieutenant Greenspan ordered Tim.
More to your left, Collins. Shove the boat to the left.
Left? Well, that'll take us out from under the dock.
Sure, that's where you're heading now, out toward daylight. There's light dead ahead of us now.
Ahead, sir?
There, through the gap between the piles. You see that light on the water?
I wonder if that... Let me take that hand lamp, sir.
All right, but careful. If it goes overside, we'll never find our way out.
That's no daylight, sir.
Yeah, what's the idea? Why did you switch that light off?
Oh, look ahead. That isn't daylight. That's the glow from the fire.
Hey, you're right, Collins. That is the fire. Pass me that other oar. Let's get over there. That's far enough. Can we stop her?
Use the oar, sir. Brace it against that pile. Yeah. All right, I can hold her now.
All right, now let her drift. Yeah, it's a bed of coals up there, eating the heart right out of this dock.
Yes, sir, but no flame, sir. 12 square feet of smoldering wood, but no flame.
Not enough air.
Well, there'll be air in a minute. That's the boys up there with axes up on the dock.
And it's time for us to get out of here, Collins. When air gets in, that bed of coals would blaze up like a bonfire.
Yes, sir. Snap on the light, sir.
Right. Follow the beam. That should get us out to open water.
Yes, sir. Brace yourself.
Put your muscle into it, Collins. Come on. Clean on that oar.
While Tim Collins and Lieutenant Greenspan are following a treacherous path in the boat under the dock, up on the surface of the dock, Chief Cody and the men are working to pry up the plank.
All right, boys. Let's get that pry bar under this plank. Rip it out. There. That's it. That's where the smoke is coming from. Down below that false flooring. You with the hose. Get that line up here.
Ahoy! Ahoy, the dock!
Where are you?
Here! Down here in the water!
In the water? Great blazing blisters. I thought you two were lost or shipwrecked under the dock.
We've located the fire, Chief Cody.
So have we. But I can't get down to it without dynamite. Those beams are 2 feet square. No way to get between them.
I want the fog nozzle, sir. I'll hit it from below.
Fog nozzle? Bring up the spray. Anything else, Lieutenant?
Stand by with another hose line on the dock, Chief.
With you and Collins down below? In that flimsy boat? Or the stream would sink you.
Hold the stream until I give the word. We'll be out and away. But I want that water ready in case there's an outbreak.
Fog nozzle ready, Chief. Fasten the line on that nozzle and bring it in.
Give us a full length of hose, Chief. We've got to get right under the middle of the dock.
This is your fire, Lieutenant. You know what you're doing. but there's a thick scum of oil on that water.
Yeah, I know, Chief. Fumes are enough to make a man seasick down under the dock.
If a blazing ember should fall into that oil...
All right, so you'll have a couple of fried firemen on the roster. That's the chance we take. There's the fog nozzle, sir. Lower away.
Coming down.
All right, got it, Chief. I'll keep feeding that hose line.
We'll pay out the hose as you go.
All right, Collins, I'll tend the line. Push it back under the dock.
209. Engine 209, give me another line of hose.
Where's the man in charge? I demand to see the man in charge.
Who let this man come out on the dock? You, what are you doing here, mister?
What are you doing here would be more to the point. Almost an hour since the alarm was rung in and you men began swarming over my dock. Oh, I saw everything. I watched you from my office window.
Oh, you're from the Towboat Company.
I am the Towboat Company. I am Eustace Tennecombe.
Well, now, is that so?
It is. You'll find out that Tennecombe Towboat Company isn't to be trifled with either. And you've been trifling with my dock for almost an hour. You've done nothing. Nothing at all but rip up my planks.
Well, I'll tell you how it is, Mr. Tennecombe.
Oh, no. I'll tell you how it is. My tugs. Tennecombe Company's 4 towboats use this dock. My 4 towboats are due to dock here in... where's my watch?
They're not going to dock here, mister, until this fire is out.
And why, may I ask, don't you put it out?
Because we just found it, that's why. Mr. Tennecombe, this is the meanest kind of fire we ever run into. The kind you have to search for, maybe for hours, before you can attack it.
Well, you have found it, haven't you? After tearing my dock to pieces? Right down that hole, isn't it? Now I demand that you put that fire out.
Mister, 2 of my men are under your dock this minute, risking their lives to put your fire out. Now get off this dock. Maybe it belongs to you, but the fire department is in control right now. You're in the way.
You're insolent as well as incompetent, I'll complain about this. I'll carry this right to Chief Cody himself. I'll take it to headquarters.
Yes, do that, Mr. Tennecombe. Chief Cody will be glad to see you anytime. Now get off this dock or I'll have you carried off.
Now let's see what is happening to Lieutenant Greenspan and Tim Collins down in the murky waters below the dock.
Keep the boat moving forward, Collins. We'll be ready to hold her.
Well, when you give the word.
And the light is stronger. Shove on that oar.
Yes, sir. Look, sir. There's flame.
Yeah, I expected that. Opening the planks up above, they'd give enough here to let her blaze up. She's getting oxygen now. Steady. Let me size this up.
Yes, sir. Oh, pieces are beginning to burn off and fall. Look, there's a regular torch.
And heat is building up. The soil in the water is beginning to vaporize.
Yes, sir.
We'll give it water vapor. Ready with that fog nozzle.
Ready, sir.
All right, get down. Brace yourself against the side of the boat.
Yes, sir.
Now wedge the oar against this pile. Keep us in place.
You want me to aim at those timbers where the flames are beginning to run back and forth?
Oh, aim for the center out there, just
Yes,
like
sir.
a room with fire and ceiling and floor. I want you to fill it with fog. All right, let her go.
Like a room is right. Like a fog in a box. I can't see anything at all.
Keep it up, Collins. That fog chokes off oxygen. The fire can't breathe.
Neither can we. Shove the boat ahead, sir. Let's get right under the burned area.
All right. Get down. Down as low as you can. There's air to breathe. Bottom of the boat.
Yes, sir. Shove on that oar, sir.
Temperature's dropping. The oil can't burn now.
Can't see anything. Where's the hand lamp, Lieutenant?
No good. Won't penetrate this fog. Cut it off. Cut off the fog.
The oar. Pass me that oar. We're out of it. Here's air, sir. We can breathe.
Almost got me. Well, if it got the fire, that's what it's for.
Well, looks like it did, sir.
Now, let's try that lamp again. Thick as fog at sea. Choking that fire, soaking into the wood.
No sign of fire left, sir.
Yeah, that's done it, Collins.
Well, how do you like that? Almost an hour we put in finding the fire and less than 5 minutes to put it out.
Remember your rule book, Collins?
Oh, sure, sir. Locate the fire, confine it, extinguish it.
Yep. And the funny thing is, each of those rules is as important as the other 2 put together.
Huh? Could you say that again, Lieutenant?
Well, never mind. We've still got work to do. Let's get back to Chief Coley.
Lieutenant, we could tell the minute you hit that fire.
From the smoke, Chief Coley?
From the smoke. It vaporized. Gave us a cloud of steam and cooled off to nothing in a matter of minutes. No need for your auxiliary hose line.
Well, I'll have a man stand by until we complete the overhaul. Hoganada Company, prepare to overhaul. Collins, get that fog nozzle back to the engine.
Yes, sir, but Lieutenant...
Get that flanking back in place at once. Spike it down.
Yeah, that'll please Mr. Tennacombe. Tennacombe, Towboat, the man who owns the dock.
Lieutenant Greenspan.
Collins, you still here? Let's get that line picked up.
Yes, sir, but look, there on the planks.
Huh? Looks like ashes.
That's what I thought, sir. And there, and over there. Somebody's been dumping ashes on this dock.
Ashes by the bucketful. Collins.
Yes, sir.
Collins, a man named Tennacombe has been in my hair this afternoon. You'll find him in those offices over there. Towboat Company headquarters.
Yes, sir.
Bring him to me. Right here. You have to bring him under your arm.
Now, why does Chief Cody want to talk with Eustace Tennacombe, owner of the Towboat Company, when just a few minutes ago he ordered Tennacombe to get off his own dock and stay off? The fire is out, but from the tone of his voice, Chief Cody himself is angry enough to burst into flames. You'll learn the reason for his anger when you listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you'll want to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special assignment for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Boys and girls, this is Chief Cody, and here's your special assignment. Firefighters, attention. Each one of you is to inspect your own home for this special type of fire hazard. Look at the partitions through which heating pipes pass. Are those pipes properly insulated? Remember, heat alone can be enough to start a fire in wood, paper, and other combustible materials. So inspect the heating pipes in your home. That is all. So long for now, and you'll be hearing from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go, Firefighters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is food. F-O-O-D.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
I thought he went over the hill. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples.
We invited some high school students to the program tonight, Groucho, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Carol Junkie and Robert Kemp. And here they are. Kids, come on here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. High school students, Carol Junkie and Robert Camp. Junkie. Well, you don't look very junky. You look pretty... cutest looking piece of junk I've seen in a long time. What's your hometown, Carol?
I was born in Oakland, California.
In Oakland, huh?
Yes, uh-huh.
Well, you're a very good advertisement for Northern California.
Thank you.
How old are you?
15.
You're very well preserved for your age, Carol. And I say that without equivocation. I went to school, too, you know. Let's test how much you know. What does equivocation mean? Do you know, Robert? Go ahead. Tell me what it means, and don't use your hands. Robert, you've been sleeping in your English class again. And I say that without equivocation. How old are you, my lad?
17.
17, huh? Well, you don't look it. Are you from Oakland, too?
No, I'm from London.
London?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were about 32 years old. You say you were born in London?
Yes.
Oh. What sort of work does your father do?
He's a chef.
He's a chef?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't ever lose him. Don't give up the chef. Remember that. Well, it's nice to know what your father does. When somebody asks my little girl what her father does, she covers her face and runs for the cellar. What school do you go to, Bob?
Hollywood High.
And you go to Hollywood High, too?
No, I go to Hamilton High.
You go to Hamilton High. Somebody out there from Bayonne, New Jersey. Hamilton High, isn't that the one they named after Benjamin Franklin, isn't it?
No, after Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he was named after Benjamin Franklin. What are you laughing at? You didn't even know what equivocation is. What grade are you in, Carol?
B10.
B10? Well, do you always roll your eyes when you say B10?
No.
And how much forward progression have you achieved in your academic curriculum?
I'm in the B11.
Hey, he understands English. I doubt if anything embarrassing ever happens to a high school boy, but have you ever had any close calls, Bob?
Well, let's see. Once I did, when I was in the theater. I'd gone to the show with my mother, and she'd gone ahead of me. And I walked down the aisle, and I sat down, and I started helping myself to some popcorn. And
whose popcorn was it?
It wasn't my mother's. Some lady beside me, she says, "Have you had enough?"
That's what they said when Truman ran it last night. They also said it about Thomas Jefferson, too. So you're a popcorn thief. Is that what you're...
No.
What is your ambition when you graduate from school, if you ever do?
I'd like to be an actor.
Well, who wouldn't? What makes you think you'd like to be an actor?
Well, it seems like an easy life.
Is that so? Really? You got a fact, huh?
Yeah, I guess it's high pay. And it's glamorous, and the hours are good, I think. And it's nice to be in front of an audience and, bring them up to a certain pitch. Stuff.
I guess that's what I should have been, an actor. Are you studying to be an actor in some school?
I take drama at Hollywood.
In addition to popcorn, is that? You taking this in high school?
Yes.
What do they teach you in school about acting?
Diction, voice projection, and staging, direction, blocking.
Blocking?
Yeah.
Are you on the football team, too?
No. See, the director gives you the business, and then you block it out.
And then you give the director the business. Do they teach you how to sneak your trunk out of a rooming house?
No, not yet.
Well, that's one of the important qualifications. Now, you mentioned diction. Could you give us an example of how you learn diction?
Well, they give you voice exercises. See, one of them is, I have to laugh when I walk down the path for an hour and a half when I take a bath.
You have to go down the path to take a bath? What's the matter with the shower? Is there another actor in there? By the way, Barrymore, what do you think of my diction? After all, I'd like to think I'm something of an actor. Would you say I have good diction?
Well, yes, but I notice you drop your NGs once in a while.
I guess I'll have to start wearing suspenders and a belt. What about voice projection? Could you give us an example of voice projection?
Well, you take it in with your lungs, the air, and then you...
That's along with the popcorn, huh?
And you breathe from the diaphragm, like it's... I have to laugh when I walk down the path.
He may not be the best actor in town, but he's certainly going to be the cleanest. He doesn't need any equipment to be an actor. He needs a cake of soap and a towel. He'll be washed up by the time you're 18. What about you, Carol? Do you engage in any underground activity at school? Like the drama?
No, I'm in the Aeolian choir at school.
You're in the Aeolian choir?
Yes, that's
well,
right.
Get out of it. That thing sounds bad enough already. I hear they've got mice in there. Now, just what is the Aeolian choir? You just made this up.
Well, it's a musical organization.
That's your story, huh?
No.
What are some of the songs you sing in this?
Oh, we sing such songs as Stout-Hearted Men.
As what?
Stout-Hearted Men.
You're pretty young for that, aren't you?
And rounds.
Rounds?
Yes.
What's a round besides Panama?
Well, let's
He's
use...
always around, huh?
Let's use...
The only square that's always around. What is a round?
Well, let's say...
Like, you go 10 rounds?
No. Let's use, for
Pretty
example...
cute, Carol.
Let's use, for example, the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
Yeah.
The first group will start Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
Don't you need any oars or anything for this?
No, just... And then the second group will come in, Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
I see.
And then the third. And it goes on like that until somebody...
Well, good. Let us do it, huh?
All
I
right.
used to sing, too. How about you, Bob? Can you sing, huh?
A little.
Well, you with your clear diction. Let Carol start off, and then you chime in, and then I'll come in later, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 gently down the stream. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time. So let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime. Well, it's been right educational having you two kids here tonight. Well, if any sponsor is listening, how's this? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. DeSoto, 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 exactly what I mean. I don't get fired for that. Nothing will do it. Now, just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 question. But right now, I want you to pay close attention to this.
It's designed for you and your budget, too. The beautiful new 1952 DeSoto. Count off all the great features of the new DeSoto. Oroflow shock absorbers for the smoothest ride on the road. Waterproof ignition to give you quick starts in even the wettest weather. Chair-high seats for a more relaxing ride and a good view of the road ahead. 12-inch safeguard brakes for safer, surer stopping. An independent handbrake that gives you 3 times the braking power of ordinary hand brakes. Sensational safety rim wheels to protect your family in case of blowout. Yes, friends, here's the car that gives you more for your money. More safety, more performance, more comfort, more driving pleasure than you've ever known. The exciting 1952 DeSoto. See it. Drive it. The new, the 1952 DeSoto. Now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules, huh?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected popular songs as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
16.
16. Sweet 16, huh? All right. Give me the title of this popular song. Oh, Jerry, let it go.
Cold, cold heart.
Cold, cold heart.
That shows you what youth is. Cold, cold heart. I wouldn't have had the faintest idea what that song. The only song I remember is the Old Oaken Bucket.
And they're on their way with $36.
$36. All right, you're going for $2,000 tonight. That's the big money. How much of the 36 will you bet?
30.
You want to bet 30.
Right.
This song is an old favorite that has been revived. What is the title of it?
Hey, Daddy, I want a diamond ring.
Daddy, I want a diamond ring.
You kids are really climbing. You have $66.
You wouldn't settle for less, huh, Carol? Here's your third question. How much of the 66 will you bet?
50. Okay.
How much?
63.
How
Well,
much?
really go tonight. 63.
63. Play it, Jerry.
I
get ideas.
I get ideas, or adios, patata.
Now they have $129.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
Oh.
You got 129 smackers. See if you can identify this one.
120.
120. Okay, Jerry.
Because of you.
Oh, they don't give you a chance. That's it, Bobby.
And you wind up with $249.
$249. Good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. They're really cute, those kids, weren't they?
Folks, several weeks ago, Tom and Nadine Snodgrass were contestants on our show. I'm sure many of you remember them. They were the young couple that went broke in the quiz because they didn't know the location of the resort city of Sarasota. Well, since then, there have been some developments, so we invited them back here again tonight. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Tom Snodgrass.
Hello, kids, and welcome back. Let's see, Nadine, as I remember, you're expecting, aren't you? When is the date again?
April.
April. Well, how do you feel?
Just fine, thank you.
Good. Well, you look great.
Thank you.
Tom, you know, we never had anyone back again once they've been up here, and I'm curious, what were some of the reactions to your appearance on the show?
We really had a good time. All the friends phoned us up. Told us
Did you have any after you'd appeared on the show?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then you're quite a celebrity now, huh? You and the missus, huh?
I think the nicest thing that happened was that my mother hadn't seen me for 5 years, and she'd never met Tom. She saw us on television and said it was just like seeing us in person.
You see, television has its purposes. The last time you remember, you couldn't tell us in what state Sarasota was located. Is that right?
That's right.
So I'm going to ask you that question again, and you get it right, and we have a little surprise for you, and here it is. And please, no help from the audience.
Florida.
Yeah? I'm going to ask you the question. In what state is Sarasota, Florida?
Florida.
Florida's right. And now for the interesting part. I got a letter here from Todd Swam, manager of the Sarasota Chamber of Commerce, and this is what he wrote. He says, just so you'll always know where we are, the city of Sarasota, Florida, invites you to be our guest for a 1-week, all-expense vacation, including round-trip air transportation. You'll visit the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus winter quarters and the Sarasota Jungle Gardens. And during your stay, you'll have at your disposal a personal automobile, DeSoto, of course, compliments of the local DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Well, have a good time down there.
Okay, we will.
If the first one's a boy, name him Groucho. Imagine going through life as Groucho Snodgrass. Congratulations, kids, from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice time. Just a minute, George. Before we go on, I have a note here that I have to read. This is just to remind me to thank the radio and television editors of the United States. It seems they voted our show the best of its kind for 1951 in the poll conducted by Radio and Television Daily.
We looked through our audience tonight, Groucho,
You
for...
did?
Yes, for...
That's a very interesting audience.
While we were looking...
Did you get any wallets?
No, I'll tell you, we
Used to be a sneak thief. I forgot to tell you.
We did find some married couples with
You did, huh?
very unusual stories. So we'd like to bring the one in we selected. They're Mr. and Mrs. Louis Martine Lally. And here they are. Come on in, folks, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. and Mrs. Louise Martine Lally, huh?
Louis.
I'll just call you Louis, huh? And Mrs. Martine Lally, huh? What shall I call you?
Bernice.
Denise?
Bernice, uh-huh.
What is this Martine Lally? Why isn't it Martin?
Well, it is Martin, except it has an E added to make it Martine.
Why don't you add an olive and make it martini?
I hadn't thought of it.
Where are you from, Lou?
Well, I was born in Vancouver, Washington.
How old are you?
44, sir.
And you, Bernice?
We're the same age.
And where's your hometown, Bernice?
London, Kentucky.
London is in Kentucky now? Those English, they're exporting everything. I remember when London was in the tight little isle. Huh? Where's London, Kentucky?
Oh, it's
probably in Virginia.
It's in southeastern Kentucky, sir. It's
in Kentucky?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's surprising. Huh?
It's about halfway between the bluegrass and the mountains.
How did you two meet?
Well,
chasing you through the bluegrass?
Well, we were both in the Army.
You were in the Army?
Yes, I was a captain, and he was a private. And being an attorney, I was assigned to the Judge Advocate General's Department.
You were an attorney?
Yes,
a
sir.
hillbilly lawyer? Huh?
Yes, sir. I was a legal assistance officer, and he came in my office for legal advice. I thought I'd solved his problem, but he kept coming back. Oh,
You finally solved your problem.
3 times a week for about 5 months. And so finally he asked me for a date. And I accepted. And then the first night he proposed.
Why did it take you 5 months to get up enough nerve to ask her for a date, Louis?
Well, she was a captain, and I was only a yard bird. And besides that, she was engaged to a colonel.
Apparently you had more brass than the colonel. What sort of work do you do, Louis?
Well, before the war, I was an electrical engineer, and then when I married a lawyer, I went to law school after getting out of the Army so I could get a law degree and win some of the arguments. And then I was a manager of some of the governorship and the senatorial campaigns for the Democrats up in the state of Oregon.
Well, what are you doing now, Louis?
Well, my wife and I are on a world tour, sir.
Really? In times like this? Isn't that pretty risky? How are you traveling? Is Brinks taking you around in an armored car?
Well, no, we're on our own little sailboat, the Magic Carpet, and it's a 25.5-foot two-masted sailboat, 8-foot beam. It draws 4 feet.
How long do you expect this trip to take, Louis?
Well, at least 5 years, sir. We're going to stop in each country as we go. And
5 years? How are you going to get along without television for 5 years?
Oh, it's easy to get along without television.
Speak for yourself, old boy.
Pardon me.
I'll take the food right out of my mouth. Huh? How are you financing this trip?
Well, we're working in each port as we go along, and we're...
You sing, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
We've done all sorts of jobs down the coast as we came the first 1,500 miles of our trip. I've clerked in a grocery store and set up pins in a bowling alley, and the two of us have done legal research work for attorneys. And
well, how do you do this while you're in the middle of the ocean? I don't understand this.
Well, that's when we're in port. We work in each port to raise money. I'm an electronics technician over at the Long Beach Navy Yard at present.
Oh. Well, it sounds very interesting. Tell us some more about your trip. What's your itinerary like?
Well, you tell them.
May I tell them?
Sure.
I want to talk a little bit.
Okay.
Our next hop will be about 4,000 miles down to the South Pacific.
Oh.
And then we're going to Tahiti and Samoa and Thailand. And then we intend to visit the religious centers, Mecca, and Jerusalem, and Rome, and up the north coast.
We'll go into Delhi, India, and we had thought of going to Tibet, but that seems to be pretty well out, too.
Well, you'll go to bed at night, won't you?
Our boat is called the Magic Carpet.
Oh, the Magic Carpet, huh?
So we can go any place.
Well, you're risking a great deal on this trip. Just why are you taking it?
Well,
Just a wanderlust? Some scientific expedition, or...?
No, we're not trying to prove anything of that sort. It's just the realization of a lifelong hope to take such a trip, like thousands of others. We
escape from reality, I
yes,
suppose,
we finally found out we would never have money enough to make the trip and would never be ready, so we just cast off, and we're trying to prove, I guess, that we can make it on a shoestring.
Well, use the boat, too. Well, you're a couple of free souls, and you deserve great admiration for what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm sure we all wish you the best of luck, and maybe when you come back, you can come and see us again and tell us about your trip.
Yes, we will. We will.
It's people like you who made Columbus what he is today. Really. Third largest city in Ohio. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000. And if you win, that'll be a big help in your trip. Now, you just run your $20 no more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The high school students won $249, and the secret word is still food.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected papers and documents. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
About $16.
$16, all right. What do you call the card that employers punch indicating their arrival and departure from work?
Time card.
Time card is right.
On their way, they have $36.
All right, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $36 will you bet on your second question?
36.
36. You don't ask the CO at all anymore, huh? You're at sea now, and you're the boss, huh?
Completely.
Yeah, that's rather good, Louis. Huh? What do you call the paper that indicates the stock quotations?
Ticker tape.
Ticker tape is right.
You now have $72.
Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
73. I mean, 72.
73, and you can owe me $1. What do you call the written direction for the preparation of medicine?
Prescription.
Prescription is right.
You now have $144.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 144 you bet?
It's all yours, sir.
No, it's all yours. 144?
Right.
Yes, sir.
What do you call the paper that is a written acknowledgement that you have received something?
A receipt.
A receipt is right.
And you'll wind up with $288, and that means that you people get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question in just 1 minute.
Thank you, sir.
Here's a figure every car owner ought to write down and remember. 85%. Because 85% of all car repairs are caused by either faulty lubrication or no lubrication at all. That's how important it is to have your car lubricated regularly at a place where they work according to factory standards. And I mean your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. You'll find there's a vast difference between ordinary grease jobs and the thorough lubrication your DeSoto Plymouth dealer gives your car. And you'll be glad to know, too, DeSoto Plymouth dealer mechanics are qualified to handle any and every type of service. They're not only well-trained, they have the experience and skill, plus the most modern tools and equipment, and the right factory-approved parts. So, for a first-class lubrication job, or any kind of repair, take your car where you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And now here are the Martine Lollies, the winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question, Groucho.
Well, here's your chance for a free trip around the world. Here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. One of the most important tasks in geographic exploration was completed in 1905 when a famous Norwegian explorer sailed a small ship from the Atlantic to the Pacific through the Northwest Passage. This is like a one-act play. The first man to do it for $2,000, what was this great explorer's name? Who was the first man to do it?
Sail the boat?
Sailed a small ship from the Atlantic to the Pacific through the Northwest Passage. He was the first man to do it. If you don't know, take a stab at it. What was this great explorer's name?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Well, guess, say something. Some explorer.
Well, I would say Amazon. Amazon.
Amundsen is right. Raoul Amundsen is right. You win $2,000. Plus, how much did they win in the quiz, George?
Well, they won $288 in the quiz.
Well, you win $2,288. Now you don't have to make that trip around the world.
Well, we can make it.
Well, it couldn't happen to a nicer couple. Congratulations from the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You bet your life.
Thank you very much, sir.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1952 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Caution, control, and courtesy are the ingredients that add up to traffic safety. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, our guest, lovely Ann Sheridan, Jimmy Cash, Felix Mills and his orchestra, and the Swantet. Now, meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Here they are. Well, it's early afternoon in the Burns home, and George has not yet returned from the office. There's the sound of the door buzzer, and Gracie goes to the door.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Postman. Gorgeous afternoon, isn't it?
Oh, yes. The air is just like wine. Even a teetotaler such as myself can get a snootful.
Oh, you don't drink?
Nothing intoxicating. Nature plays such funny tricks. Here I am, a regular bull, and I'm full of milk.
Yes, I know. Any mail for us this afternoon, Mr. Postman?
Just one letter. Here it is.
Oh, it's from Ann Sheridan.
Ann Sheridan, the movie actress?
Yes.
I'm mad about her. We have so much in common.
Oh, really?
Yes. We both have oomph. I saw her new picture last night. Thank Your Lucky Stars. It was so funny. Every time I think of it, I have to laugh.
Well, Miss Sheridan is coming over this afternoon to talk about our work at the USO canteen. Why don't you stay around and meet her?
Oh, I wouldn't trust myself too close to her. She's so fascinating, and I'm such a mad, impetuous boy. I might lose my head.
Oh, does Ann Sheridan affect all men like that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Now I'm worried about my husband.
If he's got a pint of blood in his veins, he's susceptible.
Well, I'm worried about him anyway.
There's your husband now, getting off the bus.
Yeah. See, maybe I'd better test him before Ann Sheridan gets there.
Test him?
Yeah, I'd better find out if he really is susceptible to oomph.
Well, good luck, Mrs. Burns. And remember, keep smiling.
Oh, hello, Mr. Postman. My wife home?
Yes, she's waiting for you.
What's he laughing about? Hello, Dad.
Hello, you great, big, wonderful hunk of man.
Huh?
You appeal to me, son.
Gracie, what's come over you?
Oomph.
Oomph?
I'm full of it, son.
You're full of oomph?
Sure. What makes the birdies sing in the trees, son? What makes one oyster run madly after another oyster?
I'm sure I don't know.
Oomph. I'm full of it, son.
Look, Gracie.
What puts the fire in the firefly? What makes the papa octopus hold all those hands with the mama octopus?
I'm sure I don't know.
Oomph.
Look now, Gracie. You're full of it. You're full of it. Now, please. Tell me, what does this all mean?
Well, dear, Aunt Sheridan is coming over, and I thought I'd better see if you were oomph-proof.
Oh, sweetheart. You don't have to worry about Aunt Sheridan. You're all the glamour I want.
Oh, George, thank you.
Now, you got something nice to say to me?
Well, sure.
Well, say it.
You have awfully good taste.
Thanks.
Oh, that must be Aunt Sheridan now. Come in.
Hi, folks.
Oh, Bill. I thought you were Aunt Sheridan.
Oh, really, Gracie? A natural mistake. I just washed my hair with Swan soap.
Oh, sure. Can't tell your hair from Aunt Sheridan's. Of course, yours is fluffier.
Well, now, don't kid about it, George. Swan can do anything. Why do you think there's a beautiful wave in my hair?
On account of Swan?
Well, sure. Gave a beautiful wave of Bar Swan, and she's been in my hair ever since.
Oh, Bill.
Well, you can't blame her, George. Swan is actually 4 soaps in one. The soap for your hands and face, the soap for bathing the baby, the soap for your dishes, and for your light laundry. 4 swell soaps in one.
Well, Bill, I meant that I'm expecting Aunt Sheridan to arrive here any moment.
Aunt Sheridan? Very beautiful girl, if you happen to like beautiful girls. Personally, I prefer Swan soap.
What?
Well, certainly. Can Aunt Sheridan wash a dish like Swan soap?
Well, no.
No, but Swan soap can wash a dish like Aunt Sheridan.
Oh, yeah.
Swan's perfect for dishes. Just try Swan in the dishpan or for laundering your fine things. You get loads of suds and real mildness for your hands at the same time. Why, Swan is so mild, so gentle, it helps keep your hands lovely even while you're doing your housework.
Bill, you're suds happy. If you saw Aunt Sheridan, you'd fall all over yourself.
Not true, George. If Aunt Sheridan begged me to marry her, and I wouldn't blame her, I'd still turn her down.
Well, I can't stand anymore. I'll see you later.
Gracie, can I help it if Aunt Sheridan just doesn't excite me? Now, Swan is different. Swan is a great wartime buy.
Come in.
Hello, Gracie.
Well, hello, Ann. Come on in. Ann, I'd like you to meet a very dear friend of mine, Bill Goodwin.
How do you do, Mr. Goodwin?
Oh, Bill, close your mouth and say hello to Miss Sheridan.
Miss Sheridan, you're beautiful.
Well, Bill, I thought you preferred Swan soap.
Huh?
Swan soap.
What's that?
What's that? Why, Swan soap, Bill. Swan, the new white floating soap.
Oh, yeah. Miss Sheridan, may I have the honor of breaking you in two?
I beg your pardon.
Bill, it's Swan that breaks in two, not Miss Sheridan.
Gracie, I think this character has a few shingles loose in his roof.
Miss Sheridan, have I known you long enough to tell you that I love you?
You certainly have not.
Have I now?
Bill, I think you better be running along.
Well, okay. Goodbye, Miss Sheridan.
Goodbye, Mr. Goodwin. Awfully amazed to have met you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Closet.
You want to know something?
What?
I think he liked you.
No. You mean just because he went out with that lampshade on his head?
Yeah, you seem to put people in a daze.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, yes, you do. And, look, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I know you're the oomph girl, but I've got a confession to make.
What, Gracie?
You don't affect me that way at all.
Our tenor, Jimmy Cash, and another top ballad of 43, if you please. Jimmy?
Did I see moonlight and magnolia trees smile again, my darling, if you please. Did I hear music on a warm spring breeze? Speak again, my darling, if you please. Did I feel cool September rain just then? If you please, touch my cheek with your hand again. When you are near me, I can dream with ease, and I'm yours, my darling, if you please touch my cheek with your hand again. When you are near me, I can dream with ease, and I'm yours, my darling, if you
supposed to be at the canteen?
In about an hour.
Well, after we serve the boys coffee and donuts, what about the entertainment?
Oh, we'll dance with them, and they'll probably want us to play some games with them.
What sort of games?
Well, the last time I was there, the boys asked me to play a game called Mail Call.
Mail Call? I've never heard of it.
Oh, yes, you have. It's post office, Army style.
Did you play it with them?
Yes, but I insisted on the new zoning rules.
Oh, and I wonder if the soldiers really enjoy having girls at the canteen.
Well, they seem to, Gracie. Last night when Joan Leslie and I walked in, they whistled and cheered and stamped their feet.
Yeah, but just walk in there some night without coffee and donuts.
Well, you may be right.
Gracie, I just saw Bill Goodwin and his wife. Oh, hello, Miss Sheridan.
Oh, and you know my husband.
Of course. Everybody knows Gracie Allen's husband. It's just his name I can't remember.
Burns.
Oh, yes, Burns. How are you, Bob?
Fine.
His name is George. What were you saying about Bill Goodwin, dear?
Well, the guy is nuts. He's marching up and down the street with a broomstick for a gun and a lampshade for a helmet. And not only that, he says he's going in the Army.
In the Army? Oh, my goodness, Dan. You did put him in a daze. The poor boy thinks he's a father.
What did you do to him, Miss Sheridan?
Honestly, I never touched him. I guess he just has a vivid imagination.
Well, it's love. It's love, that's what it is. Why, Anne, you and Bill might become one of the great love affairs of history. Like Romeo and Juliet, or Antony and Cleopatra, or Tommy Manville and the Women of America.
Oh, but Gracie, you don't think Bill's really in love with me, do you?
Oh, I'm sure of it. George acted the same way. When he fell in love with me, he was out of his mind.
Gracie, Anne Sheridan doesn't want to hear about you and me.
Oh, of course she does, darling. If I tell her how I handle you, she'll know how to handle Bill.
Well, that's an idea. What happened, Gracie?
Well, in the first place, George was even cuter then than he is now, if you can imagine that.
I'll try.
You know, I used to enjoy chucking him under the chin. Of course, now I enjoy it twice as much.
Gracie.
Well, tell me how you're handling Gracie. Was he difficult, too?
Oh, yeah. He just swept me right off my feet.
The fiery type, huh?
Oh, fiery. He was simply a blaze. Why, we hadn't been married 2 weeks before he tried to kiss me.
Gracie, Anne doesn't want to hear all that.
And he's still the same ardent lover today. Honestly, Anne, haven't I got the sweetest, darlingest husband in the whole world?
Oh, Gracie.
Well, we'll leave it to Anne. And now, look, you work at Warner Brothers with men like Humphrey Bogart, Cary Grant, Errol Flynn, and Dennis Morgan. But honestly, can any of them even approach George for downright cuddliness?
Well, he is a little cuddlier than Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, you bet he is. He's the cutest little cuddliest rascal in the whole world. Isn't he just darling, Anne?
Yes.
Want to hold him for a minute?
No, I might drop him.
All right now, Gracie, this is going far enough.
Yes. Gracie, how can I cure Bill? I don't want him chasing after me and buying me flowers and taking me to nightclubs and sending me candy.
Well, stop him the way I stopped George. Marry him.
No, thanks. I believe in short engagements, but not that short.
Oh, come in. Well, hello, Tootsie.
Oh, Gracie, I dashed over today. Oh, Anne Sheridan.
Well, yes, Tootsie. And meet Tootsie Sagwell.
How do you do?
Oh, Miss Sheridan, it's true. We do look alike.
We do?
Yes. Oh, it's such a thrill to meet you in the flesh.
Why, thank you, Tootsie. I'd like to meet you in the flesh sometime.
Oh, thank you. Well, Gracie, I came over to tell you that Bill Goodman has lost his mind. I saw him out in the middle of the street wandering around in the traffic.
Oh, how awful.
Yes, I could get killed that way.
You could get killed?
Well, naturally, I was following him.
Well, that's I'm going out and get Bill and bring him back here. And you girls better figure out a cure.
Well, what's he talking about, Gracie?
Well, Anne's responsible for Bill's condition. Oh, I guess there's only one way to snap him out of it, Anne.
What's that?
You have to be the oomph.
The oomph? How?
Well, it's really very simple. Tootsie.
Yes?
Tell Anne your beauty secret.
Oh, Gracie, she's already as pretty as I am.
Well, you're different, and that's just what we need. Come on, tell us how you got that way.
Well, first thing in the morning, I slap my face 20 times on one side and 20 times on the other side. If you do that gently, it keeps your face in shape.
I'm afraid you don't know your own strength.
Go on, Tootsie. Tell us some more.
Gracie, it's no use. I could never get a face like Miss Sagwell's in just one day. She's obviously been working at it for years.
She's right, Gracie. And even if she had my face, she couldn't have my figure.
Well, of course she could. I know where you buy most of it.
No, really, we'd better try something
Oh,
else.
I guess so. Let's see now. We could.
Well, here he is. Nuttier than a fruitcake.
Hello, Bill.
Hello.
You feel all right?
Sure, I feel fine.
Oh, well, then, George, there's nothing the matter with him. Come on, Bill, I'll take that lampshade off your head.
Okay. Better disconnect me first.
Oh, sure.
Time again for Felix Mills, his orchestra, and the Swantet in the Mills portrait of, well, listen.
Gracie, what's become of Bill?
He's resting in the next room, George.
Is he any better?
Well, I'm afraid he's still a bit confused, Anne. I took him an ice bag for his head, and he's sitting on it.
That's curing a headache the hard way.
Gosh, I wish these things wouldn't happen. Why can't men admire me for my intellect?
Well, I guess fashion is to blame for that. There just aren't any dresses that show off a woman's brain.
Well, it doesn't look like you girls are going to help, Bill. I better go in and talk to him myself. Bill.
Yes, Ann, darling.
This isn't Ann, darling. This is George.
Kiss me.
No, you'd hate yourself in the morning. Look at me, Bill. I'm George Burns.
Oh, forget about the kiss.
Listen, kid, snap out of it. You're making a fool out of yourself.
I am?
Yes, you're a guy with a future. This craze for Ann Sheridan, this is going to end your career.
What a way to retire.
Let me help you. Really, let me help you. I know how you feel. I can read your mind like a book.
You can?
Sure.
Well, turn to chapter 10. It's a pip.
Okay, I give up.
Did your talk do any good, George?
No, he's so crazy about you can't see straight. Isn't there some way you could disillusion a man?
Sure. I'll give him the I'm not the kind of a girl for a boy like you routine, huh?
That's right. Tell him that you're not good enough for him.
Hey, that's a wonderful idea. Make him believe you're a wicked woman. Tell him you do horrible things. Tell him you chew gum.
Should I, Gracie?
Sure. Tell him you started chewing just to be sociable, but now you even chew when you're alone.
Oh, but Gracie, we've got to draw a line someplace.
Well, why? Go the limit. Make up even worse lies. Tell him that once a man kissed you.
Well, Gracie, to tell you the truth, once a man did.
And I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Look, girls, get in there and get started. Bill's suffering.
Come on, Gracie. I know how to disillusion him. Bill.
Yes, Ann, dear.
There's something I must tell you. I'm not what you think I am. You haven't seen the real me.
Well, what I've seen I like very much.
Bill, you don't understand. Ann Sheridan may look like a simple, unsophisticated country girl, but underneath that faded gingham dress, she's wearing a silk petticoat.
Well, call me a fool, but I don't care.
Listen to me, Bill. You're too fine, too decent for a girl like me.
Well, couldn't I laugh myself up a little?
Let me put it this way, Bill. Look, let me put it this way. Have you got a sister?
Yes.
She's a fine, wholesome girl, isn't she?
Sure.
Then how in the world could you bring a girl like me home to your mother?
Well, she's right, Bill. Bring your sister home to your mother.
Believe me, Bill, I haven't got a decent bone in my whole body.
And it's surprising, isn't it, when she has such a decent body?
No, I tell you, Bill, honestly, I'm no good. I'm just a phony. Everything about me's phony.
Yeah, that's right. Even that oomph business isn't on the level.
Honestly?
Honestly. How can a girl be level and have oomph?
I can't believe it. I just know there's nothing bad about you, Ann.
Look into my eyes, Bill. My awful past is mirrored in them. Come close and see for yourself. Closer, Bill. Closer.
Well, here's where we lose this whole argument.
Look deep into my eyes, Bill.
Wow!
I knew it. Come on, Ann. We'll have to think of something else.
Well, how did you make out?
Well, we were doing fine until Ann let him get within oomping distance.
Well, now what?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Say, the memory of an old love might save him. Was Bill ever desperately in love?
Oh, of course he was. I'll go right inside and get a bar of it.
I think Gracie has the right idea. Swan soap is bound to snap him out of it.
Well, I hope so. I'm getting tired of puppy love from a guy who's big enough to be a wolf.
I don't blame you.
Oh, I'm sure it'll work. Bill will come around when he sees this bar of Swan. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Ann.
I'm not Ann. I'm Gracie. And look what I've got in my hand.
What is it?
Oh, Bill, it's a bar. And you get sucked from it.
Make mine a short one.
Bill, it's soap. Your favorite soap. You know, the soap with a bird's name.
Sparrow? Pigeon? Eagle?
Bill, think of a long neck.
And Sheridan.
No, Bill. Swan soap. You remember, it's 4 soaps in one. The soap for your dishes, light laundry, tub or shower, or for bathing the baby.
Bathing the baby?
Yes, Bill, the baby. How do we bathe the baby?
Have we got a baby, Ann?
Oh, no. But Swan is swell for bathing the baby. Don't you remember? You always said the doctors recommend it because it's so mild and gentle, kind even to a baby's tender skin.
Yes, and if it's kind to a baby's skin, well, it must be great for anybody's hands and face tub or shower.
That's right, Bill. Oh, Bill, you're cured.
Cured? Has something been wrong with me?
Yes. You didn't even know what Swan soap was.
Oh, don't be silly, Gracie. Swan's the soap that breaks in two, so you can use half in the kitchen for your dishes and light laundry, and half in the bathroom for your hands and face tub or shower.
Oh, that's right. Now will you forget Ann Sheridan?
Ann Sheridan? Oh, what do I care for Ann Sheridan?
This is wonderful. Oh, Ann.
Yes, Gracie. What happened?
Oh, he's cured.
Oh, I'm so happy, Mr. Goodwin. Thank goodness for Swan soap.
Swan soap? What's that?
We'll have to think of something else.
Gone again, huh?
Worse than ever. Nothing will help us now.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got it. Oh, why didn't I think of this before? And it's so simple, too.
What?
You make love to George.
What's so simple about that?
Anyway, I really don't see what good that'll be.
But, George, you'll spurn Ann, don't you see? Turn her down.
I get it. And when Bill sees that I'm not good enough for George, he'll figure I'm not good enough for anybody.
Well, I don't like it. But I'll do it for Bill's sake.
Okay, George. You run in the room where Bill is, and I'll chase you.
Oh, I wish Mother could see this. Ann Sheridan chasing George.
Well, come on. Now get away from me, Sheridan. Stop chasing me.
Oh, but George, I want you. I need you. I must have you.
Oh, go. Out.
But I can't, George. I can't live without you. I can't. Kiss me.
Oh, go. Out.
Wait a minute. Is George brushing off Sheridan?
Oh, it's working. It's working. Pour it on.
Oh, George, I'm so mad about you. Look into my eyes, George. Look into my eyes.
I'm looking.
Well, come closer to me, darling. Closer. Now, look deep into my eyes.
I'm looking.
You're my everything, Georgie. My love, my life, my all.
I am?
Say you'll be mine, Georgie. Say it.
Oh, Annie!
George! Oh, my goodness, I've been almost out of a husband.
George and Gracie will be right back, and I'm just going to stay here long enough to remind you that while here in America we all have enough soap to go around, can't afford to waste any. So when you use Swan, take it easy, won't you? When you swan your dishes or light laundry, the instant you get enough suds, that'll only take a few seconds, put the soap back in the soap dish. And make sure the soap dish is dry, because a wet soap dish dissolves the soap, wastes it. And when you give the baby a bath or take one yourself, it's nice and convenient to have Swan floating around in the water. But it's more patriotic. Take the soap out of the tub as soon as you have all the lather you need. So what do you say? Let's remember to save soap in every way possible. It's the least we can do to hasten victory. Well, here they are again, America's favorite Mr. and Mrs., George and Gracie.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks, we're a little late. Good night.
Ann Sheridan, our guest tonight, is currently starring in the 48-starred Warner Brothers film, Thanks Your Lucky Stars. The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune into your CBS station again next week, same time. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. Don't forget to listen to Swan's other show, Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou, next Friday night over another network. And now, next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night, everybody.
A full half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus Bud Gruskin and his orchestra, and those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. Kingfish's wife, Sapphire, has come to the conclusion that her husband's association with Andy Brown is the main cause of him being such a shiftless loafer. And right now, she's telling the Kingfish about it.
George Stevens, I done made up my mind that I'm going to have a husband that dresses good, knows nice people, and has got a steady job.
Sapphire, you mean to say that you was going to leave me?
George, I know why you are no good bum. It's on account of your association with Andy Brown. Why don't you try to meet a nicer class of men?
Well, I ain't got the opportunity to meet them. They're all working. How am I going to do that?
Well, that Andy Brown is the cause of it all. What has he ever accomplished?
Well, yesterday he had a run of 13 balls in the side pocket without kneeling on the table.
Now, that's exactly what I mean. Andy hanging around a pool table all day. Why don't he go to a cultured place like the public library?
They ain't got no pool table there. What?
All Andy thinks about is pool tables. He ain't got no background.
Well, he got a rich uncle, honey, by the name of Sylvester, that's got a rubber plantation down in Brazil. He wrote a letter to his Uncle Sylvester last week.
Listen, George Stevens, we ain't going to let Andy Brown ruin our married life. And I want you to do something about it.
Come in, Henry, come in.
Well, how's everything at the lodge today, Kingfish?
Well, everything's all right here, but my wife's really been jumping on me. She claimed that I got to break off my friendship with Andy on account of him being a lazy, good-for-nothing bum.
Well, my wife, Clara, told me the same thing.
Oh, is he going to break off with Andy?
No. Clara was talking about you, Kingfish.
Oh, my wife wants me to pick out better people to associate with.
Well, yes, it would be nice if you could pick out a man like, say our society leader, Mr. Torrance Washburn III.
Torrance Washburn III, yeah. They tell me this, why does they call him the third?
His mother was married twice before.
Yeah. Is he a successful man?
Oh, yes, indeed. And he's opened up a fix-it shop. But the last thing he fixed got him in a little trouble.
What was that?
A football game.
Yeah, he was... well, Andy's a bum, all right.
Yeah?
Well, come in, Lightning.
Yes, how is you, Lightning? How is you?
Did y'all hear the good news about Miss Andy?
Well, no, I haven't, Lightning. What is it?
Well, he just got a telegram from his Uncle Sylvester down in Brazil that owns a rubber plantation.
Rubber plantation?
Yeah, sir. And he wants Andy to come down there as his assistant and will pay him $200 a week.
Holy Moses. Yes, that is news.
Miss Andy sure is happy. Well, so long, I'll whiz that on out.
Well, Kingfish, how do you like that? $200 a week. That's a real break for Andy.
Break? $200 a week sounds more like a compound fracture to me there.
Yes, indeed. Andy will be on the gravy train. Too bad that you can't hitch a ride on the caboose.
Yeah, you know, I think of that. The minute he said $200 a week there, trouble is, my wife won't leave New York City, you see.
Andy going to Brazil. That's quite an expensive trip, too. The travel agent will make quite a hunk of money on that ticket.
Yeah, that is right. Them travel agents do. Say, speaking of the caboose, you know, I think I'll go into the travel agent business right now. Travel anywhere. World Tours Incorporated.
Hello there, Kingfish.
Well, Andy, the only reason I dropped by is to tell you that I'm too busy to drop by today. I just formed a new company that arranges transportation all over the world, specializing in South America.
Yeah, well, that's a coincidence. I just got a wire from my Uncle Sylvester. He asked me to come to Brazil to help him manage his rubber plantation.
Yes, that's so. You don't mean to tell me. Maybe I can help you with your transportation. I got a regular travel bureau that I run in now. Only costs about 10 or 15% extra there.
Well, I've been thinking this thing over since I got the telegram. I don't know if I want to go to Brazil, leave all my friends up here in New York. Might be too hot down there for me.
Well, true of the matter, it was very cool, Andy. Brazil is noted for its wonderful humidity. On a cool night, you can take an easy chair there and just sit out on the tarantula there with cigars in your mouth, you know.
Well, Kingfish, I was talking to somebody about it, and they told me that sometimes it gets to 103 in the shade down there.
Yeah, well, you ain't going to be crazy enough to sit in the shade, though, will you? Now about your transportation, then, you got to get a passport to get out the country.
Yeah, well, I want to get on one that don't rock much because I get seasick.
No, you're thinking of a transport. I'm talking about a passport, Andy. That's a little book with your picture on it to tell you who you is.
Well, I know who I is.
Yeah, but, Andy, you got to have a passport.
Well, I ain't got no passport for the country I was living in now.
Well, of course you don't, Andy. This here ain't a foreign country.
That's funny. I was talking to my Chinese laundryman, and he told me it was.
Now, wait a minute. Look here. Take my word for it. You got to have a passport, and you got to have a picture. Now, why don't you go down to the police department and get that picture of you they got down there? You know, they got you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Must I get the full face or the profile?
Oh, get the full face, but don't forget to snip the number off the back before you paste it on the thing.
And you say that your company takes care of all the transportation. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Tell you everything to do, save you worries, save you trouble, save you all that stuff.
Say, somebody told me that I got to pass through customs. What is that?
Customs? Everybody passes through customs, Andy. It's a lovely trip. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah, well, tell me this. Where is customs?
Customs? You don't mean to tell me you don't know where it is?
No, I got no idea.
Oh, it's about 60 miles from the Rock of Gibraltar. Called the Custom Islands, owned by Spain. Oh, you was here just present, old Spanish customs, or you?
Okay, Kingfish, this thing sounds pretty good to me. You arranged the whole trip.
Oh, great, Andy, I'll do that.
Tell me this, do I go direct to Brazil from New York?
Well, you might take a little side trip and have some fun on the way down. Maybe I can arrange for you to stop off for a few days at a place that you'll enjoy.
Is it any good?
Is it any good? Listen, Andy.
Managua, Nicaragua is a beautiful town. You buy a house and for a few pesos down. You give it to the lady you are trying to win. But Papa doesn't let you come in. Managua, Nicaragua is a heavenly place. You ask a senorita for a legal embrace. She answers you, caramba, scramba, bambarito. Managua, Nicaragua, let's go. I have been to many tropic ports. I might include even Brooklyn. If you ever feeling out of sorts, I'd like to recommend a look in Managua, Nicaragua. What a wonderful spot. There's coffee and bananas and a temperature hot. So take a trip in on a ship, go sailing away across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua, ole. Managua, Nicaragua is a town you'll adore. A kiss from Senorita has you pleading for more. Before you take a second one, you've got to propose. So, her papa leads you out by the nose. Managua, Nicaragua is really the top. You buy a big sombrero from a neighborhood shop, and then the girls will follow you like in a parade. That's because they want to walk in the shade. You can see some enchiladas all the day long, provided that the summer is especially strong. So take a trip and on a ship go sailing away. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua.
Go in this new travel bureau here in Harlem and see the man about getting Andy Brown down to Brazil there. Say, Mister, I'd like to get waited on.
Now, wait a minute. Don't come in here shooting off your mouth about being waited on. Busy as I am. You got to wait your turn. Take a number off the counter there.
All right, I'll take one. Number 65.
Now take a seat till we call you. Number 55.
I'd like to find out about the boat passage.
Yeah, glad to take care of you, my friend, because that's my business. Matter of fact, I'm right in the middle of arranging a round-the-world trip for a fella right now. He don't want to spend but $75.
Two around the world for $75. Can you work it out?
Oh, yeah. Of course, he's going to have us do an awful lot of walking.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I gotta get this ticket over to him right away, too. Excuse me a minute while I check this over with you.
Go ahead. Take this thing out there.
SS, Queen Elizabeth to England, walking across Europe, take Shanghai Express right into Shanghai, China. Now, let's see. 7,000 miles from home, and there's $1.85 left.
$1.85?
I sure hope he likes China.
Look here, mister. I ain't got much time. I want range passage for a friend of mine.
Ah, certainly. I can handle it for you. Been all over the world myself. Where does he want to go?
Brazil.
Brazil? That name sounds familiar. Let me look at this big map here. Brazil.
It ought to be on there.
Mm-hmm. It ain't in Europe. Don't see it in Asia. Wait a minute. It's coming back to me now. Wait a minute. Let's get over here. Let's get over to Africa here. Yeah. No, it ain't there. What is this place here? Say, how about sending your friend to Australia instead?
No. He want to go to Brazil.
Well, we can't send him there if we can't find a place, can we? Talk sensible, man.
Can't you find a place on the thing?
Wait a minute. Here's a spot for your friend. Hawaiian Island. He can see them hoochie hula girls in their grass skirts.
No, he wants to go.
You know them gals over there wear long grass skirts in the winter, short grass skirts in the summer. And if he leaves now, he'll get over there just in time to see them rotating their crops.
Rotating the crops. Well, that would be worth seeing, all right, I guess. Don't you think that would be worth seeing?
Well, ain't it the truth?
Wait a minute, mister. Here, Brazil, right down here in South America.
Is that where you found it? It must be that new clerk I got. He never put the countries back where they belong.
Well, now, look, mister, I want to get the cheapest possible boat passage to Brazil.
Well, the cheapest is a cattle boat. Got one going down with 5,000 head on board. The boat ticket is $50.
Cattle boat, huh?
Yeah, and for a little extra money, I might fix it up so your friend can eat at the captain's table.
Yeah, well, maybe you ain't got to travel that high class.
Well, on a cattle boat, there's a wide spread between eating at the captain's table and the next accommodation.
What is the next eating accommodation?
A low trough.
Let me see here now.
And if you'd like to send $10 more, I could get him on an extra fare cattle boat.
Extra fare? What's the advantage of that?
Well, there's two advantages. You get to travel with prize-winning cattle, and they put the bed in your stall.
Well, Brother Andy, I was back. I had to spend the whole $150 that you give me. Here's your ticket to Brazil. Oh, big ocean liner, ain't it? Big ocean liner.
Yeah, let me see this ticket.
Oh, there you are. Look at that. A lot of ticket there in it. About a foot and a half long. Look at that.
Yeah, say here, passage for one on the SS Guernsey.
Oh, yeah, Andy. That's a double-A prime boat, all right, boy. That's a good boat.
Well, it's funny I never heard of the SS Guernsey. Is that going to be a nice crowd on there?
Oh, yeah. They'll be mostly a Texas bunch. You get along. You're going to like the boat, Andy.
Well, will I get a chance to talk to a lot of friends on the boat?
Oh, yeah. In the evening, you can sit out on the deck there and chew the cud with all the people there. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to talk much at night like that. I want to get to bed early.
Yeah, well, Andy, I'll guarantee every night you'll be in the hay by 7. I know that.
Hey, Kingfish. I know this is a kind of a silly question, but could this be a cattle boat I'm going on?
Well, there are a few cattle on board, but the finest boats on the ocean carry cattle on them. Cattle will travel on all boats. Even the Queen Elizabeth got a steerage on it, though.
Yeah, well, how many cows is on this boat?
Oh, well, the steerage on this boat has about 5,000, small group.
How about getting me on a boat where they uses people for steerage?
Oh, don't worry about steerage, Andy. With the wind blowing right, you'll never notice it, I tell you what. Oh, there's a lot of advantages in traveling on a cattle boat, and to think of the amusement.
What kind of amusement?
Oh, there's a lot of deck sports. Lasso yourself a few steers, play pin the tail on the heifer, and all that stuff there.
Well, I guess the cattle boat's okay.
Oh, fine, Brother Andy. And I'll get all of our friends to come down to the dock when you leave and bid you bon Holstein.
By the way, Kingfish, where'd I go to get on this boat? Oh,
just go down to Pier 52, Andy.
Which boat is it?
Well, I don't know exactly where it's standing, but you can, mister. Just follow the fly. Come in, Amos, come in.
How is you, pal?
Traveler, I just come over to talk to you. Yeah. Well, I'll leave you two boys alone. See you later. So long, boys.
So long. Well, I'm going to Brazil, Amos. Got my ticket and everything.
Yeah, I was over to the newspaper talking to Fred Wendell, and he told me that you're leaving. He wants to come over and interview you, Andy.
Oh, boy, that's great. Put my picture in the paper with a story, huh?
Oh, yeah. What kind of stuff are you going to tell him?
Well, I'll start off with my childhood, my school days. School days.
I remember your school days.
Oh, that was one of the happiest weeks of my life.
Well, I'll tell Wendell to come on over here then for the interview, huh?
Yeah, tell him to bring a bunch of pencils with a lot of paper. I'll give him an interview like he ain't never seen before in his life.
Well, Andy, I hope you have a nice trip and arrive in Brazil nice and healthy, boy.
Healthy? Amos, by the time I get off that boat, I'll be homogenized.
That's it.
Well, Fred Wendell, how is the newspaper business, Fred?
Well, great, Andy, great. My editor called me in the office there, told me to come over here and interview you and get some dope. Start doping me, boy. Start doping me, that's all.
Well, Fred, I'm going to Brazil. You think I'll like it down
there?
there?
You will love it down there, Andy. You will love that country. Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Sure enough?
Oh, Brazil is a very picturesque country, Andy. It's got beautiful mountains, lovely lakes, gorgeous beaches, and breathtaking valleys, and the scenery's nice, too. Yeah, but you won't get much sleep down there, Andy.
How come I won't get much sleep?
Well, Andy, ain't you here? There's an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. Eyes a killer, ain't I?
Well, how about this interview that I have?
Well, you know, Andy, Brazil is noted for its exports to this country. We get most of our coffee from there, and most of our Carmen Mirandas. There I go again.
Well, now, how about the interview?
Well, now, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. Are you going to take a boat going down there? You will love the boat ride. Ocean all the way, Andy, and it's a wonderful way of traveling. You know, traveling on a boat has a certain air about it.
Yeah, well, this boat I'm going on has got that all right.
Yeah, I tell you.
Now, to the interview. When I was very young...
Well, now, I think I got enough from you now, Andy. I got enough from you.
Wait a minute. I ain't told you nothing yet. Don't you need some facts?
Facts? No, Andy. I'm a newspaper man. When I write news, facts gets them away.
By the way, Fred, when I get down there, what'll I do about learning the language?
Well, now, all they speak down there is Portuguese, Andy. All they speak is Portuguese. You got to get somebody to teach you. Now, as soon as you land down there, Andy, I'll give you a tip. Grab yourself a Portuguese, and he'll learn you, son.
Mama done told me when I was in these pants. My mama done told me that she sang a woman who sweet talk and give you the big eye. But when the sweet talking's done, a woman's a two-faced,
so right, brother,
or worrisome thing who leave you to sing the blues in the night.
Right.
Now the rains are falling here, the train are calling, ooh-wee. My mama done told me, hear that lonesome whistle blowing across the trestle, ooh-wee.
Yep, my mama done told me.
Ah-hoo-wee, da-hoo-wee, oh, clickety-clacker, echoing back the blues in the night. The evening breeze will start the trees to crying, and the moon will hide its light. When you get the blues in the night, take my word, the mockingbird will sing the saddest kind of song. He knows things are wrong, and he's right. You know he's always right. From Natchez to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the four winds blow. I've been in some big towns and heard me some big talk, but there is one thing I know. A woman's a two-faced, a worrisome thing who leave you to sing the blues in the night. Got the blues on my left, the blues on my right, the blues in the day my mama was right. I've got those blues in the night.
Well, hello there, LaGuardia. See you about some legal matters here.
Hal, come in.
Yeah, well, tell me this. As you're going out, I see a note there on your desk, say, back at 4 o'clock.
No, that's my appointment with the chiropractor. He's coming over at 4 to work on my back.
Oh, yeah. Now, listen, LaGuardia, let's sit down and get down to this legal advice here. Now, here's the story. Another fella got a telegram from his uncle to come to Brazil for a big job, and I want that job.
Well, why don't you take his ticket and go down there?
Well, if I'd done that, is there any possible way I can get in any trouble?
Oh, sure. There must be some way. I'll find it.
No, look here. I done decided to talk him out of going. Now, could he do anything to me?
Well, he could call the Coast Guard and start extradition proceedings.
Extradition proceedings, what's that?
I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere where they find out where you're going to be and check up on where you ain't, and then they pick you up where you is and bring you back to where you were.
Yeah, but can they do that, Stonewall?
Oh, yeah, they did. Now, I remember one case I had. I went with the police up to Canada to bring back a man.
Yeah, did you get him?
Oh, yeah. I brought him all the way back to New York. He fought all the way, but I got him there. And boy, was he mad.
The man was mad, huh?
Yeah, I'll say it was. I had the wrong man.
Well, Stonewall, look here, I just been thinking here, the only thing for me to do in my case is to unsell the fella on going to Brazil. Now, if I run into any trouble on the thing, I'll call you.
Well, you better call me early, see, because I got to go see a man about taking him in as a partner in my law office.
Oh, a partner. That's a good idea.
Yeah, he's a good man. He cashed a check for $2,500 and bought a half interest in my law business.
$2,500?
Yeah, now I got to go to court and watch him in action.
Oh, yeah, tell me this. Has he got a case in court?
Yeah, forgery case. I'm suing him for signing my name to that check.
Come in, Kingfish. I'm getting all ready for my big trip to Brazil.
Well, now, wait a minute, Anna. There's still a few little details that ain't been took care of yet before anybody leaves for dangerous country.
What kind of details?
Well, now, before you can leave, Andy, you got to get your inoculation shots. I'd say you'd be ready for surgery at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Surgery?
Oh, nothing to worry about. You might get over it. You just gotta go to the hospital and let the doctors give you them inoculations with them hypochondriac needles, you know what they say.
Well, wait a minute here. I don't want nobody jabbing me with no needles. Them needles hurt.
No, Andy. When they plunges that needle into your arm, you don't even feel it.
The needle?
No, your arm, boy.
Well, what is I got to have all these shots for?
Well, Andy, you was traveling with pure-bred blooded cattle, and they ain't taking no chances.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up the cattle. But these shots you talking about has got me scared.
Well, you got to have them, Andy. Going to Brazil, that's the law. The law reads that you got to have tetanus shots, typhoid, yellow fever, and the worst of all, of course, is the jaundice shot.
Now, where do they shoot you for that?
Usually in the left jaundice.
Oh, no, that's where I fooled them. I had my jaundices cut out when I was a kid.
Oh, I do.
But I was going anyway, and I'm going to go home and pack up my stuff and catch the boat tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what you do, Andy. Give me your boat ticket, and I'll go over to see my doctor. Give me the ticket now. That's it.
Okay.
I'll have my doctor stamp it for you so you won't have to take the shot.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Do that for me. There he is. There's the ticket. See you after a while. So long.
Well, it didn't work. $200 a week. That's big dough. I was going to take that job myself. I was doing this land as good. I was going down and get on that boat. South America, open up them golden gates.
Well, now, come on,
calm down, Andy. It ain't no use for you getting mad and all excited.
Oh, of all the dirty, low-down, double-crossing crooks, that Kingfish is the lowest. He done took my steamship ticket, and last night he went down and got on the boat himself.
Oh, hello there, Sapphire.
Where's my husband at? He didn't come home last night, and he left a note saying that he was going away to make his fortune and that he'd send for me later.
Yeah, that no-good chiseler took my ticket and left for Brazil because he knows that I got a wire from my Uncle Sylvester offering me a job down there, $200 a week.
Good heavens!
What's the matter?
I wanted to fix things so George wouldn't hang around with you no more. And I'm the one that sent you that wire and signed it Uncle Sylvester.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kit on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to L.A. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kit on Route 66. You go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, look mighty pretty, you see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino, won't you get hip to this timeless hip? When you make that California trip, get your kit on Route 66. Leaving for L.A., shouting hip hooray, going across today. Hey, hey, hey. Haven't got to worry, but I'm gonna hurry, 'cause we got a gal in town heading for that state. I hate to be late, so don't you hesitate, Jake. Can't wait. Once you get hit, you zip to this timely tip. When you make that California trip, get your kit on Route 66. I'm happy as can be, so won't you come with me and take that righteous route? Show has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for Eve Arden in another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, for most of us, it's considerably harder to get up early on winter mornings than it is during the summer. But this isn't the case with our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School.
Maybe I'm just being perverse, but if I found it any harder to get up early in the winter than I do in the summer, I'd sleep right through the spring. That's why Mrs. Davis, my landlady, had such a time waking me last Thursday morning.
Connie. Get up, Connie.
Go away, Mrs. Davis.
Come on now. You told me yourself that you wanted to get up at 6:30 sharp.
I was lying.
I can't understand what makes you so difficult to wake up.
Oh, it must be because of my dream.
Your dream?
Yes, I dreamt I was out very late last night.
Oh. You did go out with Mr. Boynton last night, didn't you?
I had dinner with the bashful one, yes.
Was it an exciting evening, Connie?
It was a rip snorter. When we got to the front door, Mr. Boynton apologized for keeping me out until the wee small hours.
What time was it, Connie?
5 minutes of 10. Of course, by the time he got finished saying goodnight, the way he says it, it was considerably later.
What time was it then?
4 minutes of 10. Well, I better take my shower and get dressed, Mrs. Davis.
All right, Connie. Mr. Boynton isn't the most romantic fellow in the world, is he?
So far, Cary Grant has nothing to worry about. Well, this coffee was very good, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, Connie. Do you know what I put into the coffee grounds to get that flavor?
Don't tell me. I want another cup first. There we are. You want some?
No, thanks. I've been thinking about Mr. Boynton all morning.
Why, Mrs. Davis, don't tell me I've got competition.
Oh, competition? Oh, of course not, Connie. Why, I'm old enough to be both your mothers.
Oh, now, please, Mrs. Davis, you mustn't split up over us. Oh, that must be Walter Denton. I can tell because there's still some food on the breakfast table. I'll get it.
All right, Connie. I'm going out in the yard for a few minutes. I've got to try to fix that incinerator.
The incinerator? What's the matter with it?
It caught on fire the other day. I'll tell you about it when I come back.
Should be interesting. Be right there. Good morning, Walter.
Correction, Miss Brooks. It's a wonderful morning. A delicious morning. A morning dripping with ecstasy.
Well, trickle in, happy boy. What are you celebrating, Walter? Was Madison High swept out to sea by a tidal wave?
Of course not, Miss Brooks. It's me that's being carried along by a tidal wave. A tidal wave of emotion unprecedented in one of my tender years. It's as if I'd discovered a hidden wellspring in the core of my being.
You'll find a blotter in the hall closet. Now, come on into the dinette. I was just finishing a cup of coffee.
Oh, I'd be happy to join you in a bit of breakfast, Miss Brooks.
Sit down, Walter. How about a glass of milk?
A glass of milk and a few pieces of coffee cake will be fine, thanks.
I'm glad you brought your beaming face over so early today. Maybe you can loan me a pint or two of ecstasy. What's it all about?
Oh, it's Harriet, Miss Brooks. I'm really in solid with her, and all because of a fortunate accident that happened yesterday afternoon.
What kind of an accident?
Well, yesterday after school, she was in the garage looking for her tennis racket, and her father's car was in the way. Now, you know how finicky old Marblehead is about the... Mr. Conklyn is about his car.
I know he doesn't let anyone drive it.
Drive it? He doesn't let anybody come within 6 feet of it if he can help it. He even parks it himself in parking lots. Why, I've heard him boast that since the day he bought it, his car has been untouched by human hands.
How does he get it lubricated? And if you say by grease monkeys, I'll take away that cake.
Oh, no, he does it himself, Miss Brooks. So you can imagine how nervous Harriet got when she tried to back it up a few feet in the garage, and the wheels were turned too sharply, and bang! She put a neat dent in the fender. That's when I got the inspiration that will forever endear me to Harriet Conklin.
What did you do, smuggle her out of the country?
No, Miss Brooks. I decided to take the rap for what she'd done. Instead of obeying my normal, natural impulse to run like a crook, I decided to face Mr. Conklin and take the blame.
But, Walter, Mr. Conklin isn't too fond of you as it is.
I'll say he isn't. He can't stand the sight of me. But as I say, Miss Brooks, I was inspired. So I went around to the front of the house, I strode boldly up the porch steps, and faced Mr. Conklin's face to face.
And the picture, let's face it.
Sir, I said, you're not going to like this, but the fender of your car has just been dented. And it was I, Walter Denton, who did the denting.
You've been reading too much Ogden Nash. What did Mr. Conklin say to that, Walter?
He said, Denton, I admire your honesty.
That's all he said?
Not another word, not another syllable. He just extended his hand and shoved me down the steps.
I knew there was some sort of punctuation.
But as I landed in the yard below, I felt a warm glow spreading around my heart.
I question the geographical accuracy of that remark.
No, it's the truth, Miss Brooks. I saw a look in Harriet's eyes she helped me up that seemed to say, Walter Denton, I am forever your slave. And you know something, Miss Brooks? That system would work for you, too.
But, Walter, I can't be your slave. The Board of Education has a priority.
No, I'm talking about Mr. Boynton. Now, if you want to get in solid with him, all you've got to do is just what I did.
What, let Mr. Conklyn shove me down the steps?
No, Miss Brooks. Take the rap for some jam that Mr. Boynton gets into.
But Mr. Boynton doesn't get into any jams. How could I possibly take any raps for him?
Maybe a jam could be arranged for Mr. Boynton.
Mrs. Davis.
I couldn't help but hear your conversation, Connie.
You couldn't?
No, I had my ear to the keyhole. Walter, I want you to know that I think you've got a wonderful idea there.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Davis. Now, it shouldn't be too tough to figure out a way to get Mr. Boynton into some kind of trouble at school.
Then you could take the blame for him, and he'd be so grateful. He wouldn't know what to do for you first.
But I bet you could tell him.
That would be framing a perfectly innocent man.
But it's for his own good, Connie. He's just too shy to realize that you two were meant for each other. Now, it's quite early yet, so before you start out for school, let's all sit quietly and try to figure out the best possible scheme.
Swell. We'll all concentrate.
I've got it.
What is it?
I'll borrow Mr. Boynton's cigarette lighter and leave it in the principal's office as evidence.
His cigarette lighter? What good would that do?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. First, I'd set fire to Mr. Conklyn.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment, but first here is Vern Smith. Now, dental science reveals a startling discovery in the fight against tooth decay. Proof that always using Colgate dental cream right after eating helps stop tooth decay before it starts. Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most important news in dental history. Eminent dental authorities supervise hundreds of college men and women for over a year. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgate right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care. And here are the amazing results. The group using Colgate dental cream as directed showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results. And Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care. No risk of irritation to tissues and gums. And no change in flavor, foam, or cleansing action. As always, Colgate's cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. The Colgate's now at your dealers is the same formula used in the tests. Always use Colgate dental cream right after eating to help prevent new cavities, help stop tooth decay before it starts.
Well, we arrived at school in plenty of time for me to try out the Walter Denton plan for obtaining the gratitude of the object of one's affections. Or as Walter so romantically put it, get him in the jam, take the rap, and you got him in your pocket. Anyway, I headed directly for Mr. Boynton's biology lab. And knowing that Mr. Conklyn's disposition wouldn't be improved any by the dent in his fender, I glided very carefully past his office. But I guess I wasn't careful enough.
Miss Brooks.
Oops. Morning, Mr. Conklyn. On our toes this morning, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Especially you.
It's just that I didn't want to disturb you, sir.
Very considerate of you. Now, if you don't mind, Miss Brooks, you can put your shoes on and step into my office. There we are. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
As you know, Miss Brooks, I have high blood pressure.
Yes, sir, I know. Sometimes when you get excited, your face gets so red it looks like a little...
Never mind. Never mind the little word pictures, Miss Brooks. I know how I look when I get excited. What I wanted to tell you is that I saw you stepping out of Walter Denton's car this morning.
Oh?
I see you stepping out of Denton's car almost every morning when you come to school, and it rather fascinates me.
What does?
Well, you see, sometimes I park my car right in front of school. Sometimes a few yards to the right of it, and sometimes halfway down the block. But do you know something, Miss Brooks? No matter where I park it, Denton always manages to pull up alongside of it so that when you get out of his car, you have to slide your body the entire length of my car, making nick after nick in the paint job.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Conklyn. I had no idea I was so abrasive.
Well, it's not deliberate, I'm sure. But every third Sunday when I simonize my car, I find a little nick here, a little nick there, here a scratch, there a scrape.
Everywhere a scrape. I mean, I can understand your being annoyed, Mr. Conklyn, but...
I'm glad. You see, Miss Brooks, to me a man's car is a most personal possession. As personal, you might say, as his toothbrush.
Well, in the future, Mr. Conklyn, you can rest assured that I'll make every effort not to bump into your toothbrush. Car.
Thanks, Miss Brooks. Oh, before you go, there's one more thing.
Yes?
Make a little effort to avoid bumping into Mr. Boynton so often, too. You know how I stand on fraternization between faculty members.
Mr. Boynton? And me? Why, just put it out of your mind, Mr. Conklyn. That's a thing of the past.
Oh, really?
Of course. Why, if I were the only woman in the world and Mr. Boynton was the last man on earth...
Yes, Miss Brooks?
I'd like to leave a call for Tuesday. So you see, Mr. Boynton, although I don't like to lecture, these little visits have just got to stop. That's all there is to it.
But why, Miss Brooks? I like your dropping into my lab like this.
Well, that's the end of that lecture. Any questions? Oh, honestly, I don't see why Mr. Conklin's so strict about teachers passing the time of day once in a while. What harm does it do?
Well, it does slow up our work some, I suppose. Although I haven't anything urgent to do at the moment. In fact, I was just doodling on this scratch pad. You see, it's a sketch of one of my white mice.
Say, that's very cute. How is everything with you, Mr. Boynton?
Fine, Miss Brooks.
No trouble on the horizon at all? That is, everything sailing along smoothly for you?
Smooth as silk.
Oh. Let me have that mouse you just drew. And that pencil. Thanks. Now, when I put this little mustache on him, who does it remind you of?
Gee, I don't know.
Here, I'll give you a hint. There.
Well, when you put his name on it, it does look quite a bit like Mr. Conklin. Say, that reminds me, I've got some reports to turn into him this morning.
Oh, I'll do it for you. I'm going right by his office.
Are you sure it's no trouble?
Trouble? It's my opportunity. I mean, I'll be glad to leave these reports for you. See you later, Mr. Boynton.
All right, Miss Brooks, and thanks. Now I'd better tear up that drawing with Osgood Conklin's name on it, or he might... Well, that's funny. It disappeared. Oh, Miss Brooks, just a minute.
What is it?
Did you happen to pick up that drawing Miss Brooks, what's that you're stuffing in the envelope with my reports?
Please, Mr. Boynton, I never stuff.
Let's see that a minute.
But, Mr. Boynton, if you don't get reports in promptly to Mr. Conklin, he gets furious.
Miss Brooks, look at this picture.
Eek, a mouse.
Yes, and with a mustache. Now, I wish you'd tell me what he's doing in there with my reports.
Maybe there's some cheese in the envelope.
This is no laughing matter, Miss Brooks. I could have gotten into a fine jam with Mr. Conklin.
Yes, it could have been a beauty. But there's no harm done, Mr. Boynton. I would have discovered it before I got to Mr. Conklin's office, and well, you don't think I intentionally... Mr. Boynton, how dare you accuse me of what I just did?
Why are you sitting way over here, Miss Brooks? I just saw Mr. Boynton at the other end of the cafeteria.
Well, if you must know, Harriet, I'm staying away from Mr. Boynton because of your father.
Oh, Daddy won't be up to the cafeteria today. He's been terribly upset since I dented his fender yesterday. Walter Denton took the blame for it, though. He's just an angel, Miss Brooks.
Yes, I heard he flew down the steps beautifully.
But ever since it happened, Daddy's been on a rampage. He's positive he's got an ulcer.
Really? Can he afford one? I'm sorry to hear it.
Daddy called the cafeteria a little while ago and had them prepare a special lunch for him to eat in his office. Plain broth and a whole boiled chicken. Walter's bringing the tray over from the steam table now. I promised Daddy I'd bring it right down to his office.
Well, here we are, Harriet. This ought to stop the old lion from growling for his victuals. Oh, hiya, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Walter.
Thanks, Walter. I'll rush it right down to him.
Oh, just a minute, Harriet. I was just thinking. I've got to go back to my room for a minute. Why don't you stay here and eat your own lunch and let me take the tray for you?
Well, Well, that's very nice of you, Miss Brooks.
Oh, it's nothing at all, Harriet. Here, give me the tray, Walter.
Are you sure you'll drop it right in Daddy's office?
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Walter, will you walk out of the cafeteria with me for a moment?
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. Excuse me, Harriet.
Certainly, Walter, dear.
See how nice she is to me? How are you doing, Miss Brooks? Think of any way to get Mr. Boynton into a jam?
I think I've got an idea, Walter, but you've got to help me.
Yeah?
While he's out, I want you to take this tray into Mr. Boynton's laboratory. Just put a little note on it saying compliments of the cafeteria. And whatever you do, don't mention this to Harriet.
But, Miss Brooks, this lunch belongs to Mr.
Quiet, Walter. His office is just a few doors down the hall. You started me on this thing. Now, the least you can do is cooperate.
Well, okay, Miss Brooks. I'll put it in the lab right away. But I sure hope you know what you're doing.
I sure hope you get your hope.
Well, what is it?
May I see you for a moment, Mr. Conklin?
Oh, come in.
There's something I'd like to tell you, sir.
Very well, but be brief.
Oh, I will. I know this is your feeding time. Lunchtime.
It is past my lunchtime. The tray I ordered should have been here a half an hour ago.
Well, that's what I came in to talk to you about. It might be some sort of a prank, and although I'm not the one to go in for informing, Mr.
Prank?
Conklin...
Who took my lunch?
I don't know, I'm sure. But I thought if you wanted me to, I could inspect some of the laboratories, classrooms, and see who the guilty party might be.
A splendid suggestion, Miss Brooks. Only instead of you inspecting the classrooms, I'll do it myself.
Yourself? Oh, but you're not a well man, Mr. Conklin. You can't leave this office now.
Step aside, Miss Brooks. I'm going to locate my lunch, or else.
I'm glad you got to class before any of the others, Walter. I'm in the spot.
Yeah, but Miss Brooks...
When I had you put that lunch tray in Mr. Boynton's lab, I wanted him to see it before I transferred it to my room and told Mr. Conklin that somebody had played a prank on me.
Yeah, I know, Miss Brooks,
But Mr. Conklin insisted on making the rounds himself, and now... Walter, isn't that the lunch tray on my desk?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to explain, Miss Brooks. Mr. Boynton already had lunch, so when he found it in the lab, he brought it down here to your room. He said he wanted to treat you.
Oh, fine. Well, there's no time for any more schemes now. I'd better sneak his lunch into Mr. Conklin's office while he's out looking.
Oh, there's something else I've got to explain, Miss Brooks. Although Mr. Boynton had his lunch and I knew you'd had yours, I didn't have mine. So rather than take a chance of getting caught in the hall with it, I ate it.
Let's see it. Oh, there's nothing left but a skeleton. I've got to get rid of this tray immediately. Quick, Walter, open the window. I'll take these dishes and lower them out.
Just a moment, Miss Brooks. What's that you're holding in your hand?
For all practical purposes, my death warrant.
You see, Mr. Conklin?
Silence!
I...
Put it down on your desk, please. Thank you. So you wanted to hunt through the classrooms yourself, eh? A very clever red herring, Miss Brooks, but it just didn't work. I'll deal with you later, of course. But for now, I'll just take my lunch. And... My lunch? What happened to it? This chicken is nothing but skin and bones.
He's been working very hard lately. Please, Mr. Conklin, I'll explain it all later. I'll think of something. Just go to your office and relax. Why, I'll bring you a tray that'll make you feel like $1 million.
There's only one thing I want you to bring me on a tray, Miss Brooks. And that's your head.
Oh, I'm certainly glad school's over, Mr. Boynton. I thought this day would never end.
Oh, me too. Mr. Conklin was in a pretty bad mood, wasn't he?
I can't understand it. He's got such a fine teaching staff. You'd think he'd be happy.
Well, here's my car, Miss Brooks. If you haven't made any other plans, well, that is, I thought maybe if you didn't have a ride with some other, well, would you like me to?
I'm already in, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, fine. I'll get in. Now, we're just... Uh-oh. Well, I seem to be jammed in between two cars here.
Oh, it is pretty tight. Bumper to bumper.
Yeah. I'll just have to start my motor and push the car in front of me a bit. Why do people persist in leaving their cars in gear?
You've got enough room now, Mr. Boynton. You can stop pushing pushing the car in front of you.
I have stopped. That car's rolling by itself. Miss Brooks, what'll I do?
Well, there's nothing you can do. Maybe it'll stop by itself. Well, that's the first time I've been right today.
Come on. Oh, look at that fender, crumpled like an accordion. Well, let's see who the car belongs to. Miss Brooks, can you see the certificate on the steering wheel?
Quite clearly, Mr. Boynton. It says, and I quote, Osgood Conklyn.
Osgood Conklyn? Well, I guess I'll have to face the music. You wait right here, Miss Brooks. I'm going in and report this to Mr. Conklyn.
Well, that's a fine insurance company you're with, Gibbons.
I'm sorry, Mr. Conklyn, but our inspector looked at the fender this morning, and he says the dent can be hammered out for about $40.
But I don't want it hammered out. I want a new fender. What am I paying insurance premiums for?
Sorry, Mr. Conklyn, a new fender would cost over $150, and the dent you have doesn't justify it. Since your policy is a $50 deductible, you'll have to stand the expense yourself. Bye.
But Mr. Gibbons,
Bye-bye.
Mr. Gibbons, he hung up on me. Well, of all the colossal nerve.
Oh, pardon me, sir.
What do you want, Boynton?
I wish to report an accident, sir, an automobile accident.
Automobile accident? Anybody hurt?
Not yet. You see, sir, it was your car.
My car?
Yes, sir. You had me locked in at the curb, and I had to give it a little push, and the brake wasn't on, and, well, it didn't stop till it hit a tree.
A tree? What happened to it?
Oh, nothing happened to the tree, Mr. Conklin. But your fender, it's just...
Smashed up pretty good, Boynton?
Mangled.
Really wrecked, eh? Oh, Boynton, that's wonderful.
Wonderful. You mean you're happy about it?
Well, of course. I'll show that insurance company they... Oh, wait a minute. That fender couldn't be hammered out, could it?
Oh, definitely not.
Attaboy, Boynton! Oh, I won't forget this, my boy. You've done me a real turn. Don't you see? I had a little dent in the fender, but the insurance company wouldn't replace it. But now they'll have to. You hear me? They'll have to.
Wait. Mr. Conklin, you're barking at the wrong tree. I mean, I alone am responsible for what just happened to your car.
You? But Mr. Boynton said...
Never mind what Mr. Boynton said.
Now, see here, Miss Brooks, there's no necessity for you to go...
Ixnay, Mr. Boynton, I'll handle this. No, Mr. Conklin, I know you're angry at me as it is, but I cannot let an innocent person try to shield me. You can go now, Mr. Boynton. Leave here a free man.
But, Miss Brooks...
You can thank me some other time. Tonight, say.
But I don't understand. Why are you trying to take credit for this, Boynton?
Credit?
Credit? Look, Mr. Conklin, I don't understand a lot of things that have happened here today, so if you'll excuse me, I'll take Miss Brooks' suggestion and then leave here a free man.
But, Mr. Boynton, I don't...
Now, what's the matter with him? What difference does it make who did what as long as I'm pleased? Miss Brooks, you have no idea what you've just done for me.
You're so right. And you, Mr. Conklin, have no idea what I have just done to me.
But I told you I'm not angry. Why are you still up a tree?
If an English teacher may correct a principle, Mr. Conklin, it isn't a tree that I'm up. What I'm up, and without a paddle, is a creek.
Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo.
So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream Shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, I corralled Mr. Boynton before he got into his car again and explained that I thought he was in trouble and was merely coming to his rescue.
Well, I'm afraid I don't approve of such heroics, Miss Brooks. You see, I've always liked to stand on my own 2 feet. It's a trait I inherited from my father.
Really?
Yes, Miss Brooks. I've gotten where I am today without the help of any woman. I'm rather proud of that, and so is my father.
Mr. Boynton, could I have his address?
His address? What for, Miss Brooks?
I want to send your father a card on Mother's Day.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Doctors prove you, too, may have a lovelier complexion in 14 days. Yes, 36 leading skin specialists proved in tests on 1,285 different women that a new method of cleansing with Palmolive soap using nothing but Palmolive brought new complexion beauty to 2 women out of 3. Just wash your face 3 times daily with Palmolive soap. Each time for 60 seconds, massaging Palmolive's beauty lather onto your skin, then rinse. So start your Palmolive facials today. See what Palmolive soap can do for your complexion in just 14 days.
The people in war-torn countries will be increasingly hungry, cold, and ill with the coming of winter. You can help them by sending care packages. Care packages include vital food, clothing, blankets. Care guarantees delivery. Just send $10 to Care, New York.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program starring Red Skelton. With Ozzie Nelson and his music, Harriet Hilliard and Wonderful Smith. Ozzie Nelson and his band playing I'll Be With You in Apple Blossom Time. And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Brad, I tried everywhere to get a hold of you Friday night. Where were you?
Home.
Oh, well, no wonder I couldn't find you.
We wanted to take you to the fights with us.
Well, I'll tell you, Red, some of the boys dropped over, and they took me to cleaners. Say, you go to the fights at the American Legion Stadium every week, don't you, Red?
Yeah, I was there last week, and what a knockout. What a knockout. Too bad her husband was with her. Say, I really enjoyed the fight, though. I had good seats. I was sitting between two big fat ladies.
You were sitting in between two big ladies?
Yeah.
Red, were they really fat?
Fat? I felt like a Florida grapefruit between two California oranges.
Fighting Friday night, right?
Well, it was Tiger Johnson against Battleship Duggan.
Yeah, I know him well. How'd it turn out?
Well, in the fourth round, Battleship had to be convoyed to a neutral corner.
Hi, Red.
Hello, Harriet. Say, did you enjoy the fights the other night?
Oh, I sure did. Say, what was that thing that fell out of the fighter's mouth when he was hit on the jaw?
Oh, that was his mouthpiece.
Oh, gee. Some lawyers will work anywhere to make $1, won't they?
You worked a little there yourself, didn't you?
You used to be a fighter, didn't you, Red?
Yeah, I'll never forget my first fight.
What happened?
Well, I ran out on the canvas, and the next thing I knew, I was part of it. I never saw so many fists in my life.
Who were you fighting?
I don't know. I think it was Lum and Abner. I got hit on the eye so much that I had to carry a bird dog to point out a neutral corner for me.
Well, did you finally find the neutral corner?
Yeah, but Lupe Velez wouldn't let me stay there.
Say, Red, when you fought, did you stand back and box like Jim Corbett, or did you get in there and slug like Dempsey?
No, I ran like lightning.
Red, did they ever carry you out of the ring on a stretcher?
No, you see, I used to have silver handles sewed onto my shorts. Hi, everybody. Hello, Ozzy. Say, we were just talking about my prize fighting days. I used to be a pugilist. A what? A pugilist. Pugilist. P-U...
Yep, that's you. I can't imagine you as a fighter.
Listen, Ozzy, I'm in pretty good shape even now, considering that I was very puny when I was a baby. In fact, I was so puny when I was born, they were going to drown me.
Well, why didn't they?
They were ashamed to be seen carrying me down to the river.
Red, I think I'd make a good fighter myself. I have a very strong physique, Here, feel my right arm.
Say, your shoulder paddings are losing a little weight.
Now feel my left arm. And listen here now. Get a load of this chest. Well, what do you think?
I'm sorry, but I can't give you more than 6 cents a pound.
Smokers, remember this. It's the tobacco blend that makes the big difference in cigarettes. That's why Raleighs are so decidedly better, so much smoother, milder, tastier. You see, Raleighs give you a golden rich tobacco blend, perfect in every detail. For Raleigh's exclusive blend, only the lighter, more golden tobaccos are used. Tobaccos any expert will tell you are choicer, more expensive. And to give you a completely satisfying taste flavor, Raleighs have 31 different types of domestic and imported tobaccos, masterfully blended by the world's most skilled tobacco blenders. Yes, painstaking care in every step makes Raleigh's exclusive blend America's finest. And don't forget, Raleighs give you valuable golden coupons, redeemable for over 70 magnificent premiums. Friends, it pays to smoke Raleighs, the pack with the coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes.
Say, Harriet, isn't that the wedding march they're playing?
Yes, Red, it's the same old wedding march. Two young people very much in love have just become man and wife. The bridegroom, portrayed by Ozzy, turns to the bride, and he says something like this.
If you have troubles, dear, whatever they be, remember I'm always near to take the raps for thee.
Time passes swiftly by, and we find the same two people after they've been married for 20 years. And please, please remember, we're only kidding.
I guess I'll have to dream the rest. You looked so athletic the day we were wed. Success has gone to your stomach instead of your head. Whatever happened to your chest? It must have slipped below your vest. You really put me to the test. You looked so romantic before you were stout. Your hair had such beautiful waves before the tide went out. Now I count 6 or 7 hairs at best. I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
Well, I guess you're right, says he. I'm not quite the guy I used to be. But though I hate to seem shy on chivalry, you know you've held out a thing or two on me. Don't let this make you too depressed. But you just never mentioned that you couldn't cook. You got all your recipes out of a book. One misprint I could not digest. And all that night I dreamed the rest. And next we find the same 2 people. This time they've been married for 50 years. And as our scene opens, they're returning from a party.
You'd better get right to bed and get some rest. You know, you can't go to any more parties if you're going to play so hard. At your age, playing post office and running around the yard.
Well, that blonde said she liked my kisses best. Well, I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
What a conceited man. My goodness sakes alive. Have you recently looked at your pan? What? They turn it down in an aluminum drive.
Well, though they say these times are not the best. Oh, what a wonderful age as I sit by my radio and hear those old sweet songs that Mother used to know.
Yes, and hear those same old jokes that Father liked the best.
Well, I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
That was Harriet Hilliard and Ozzie Nelson with their own special brand of dreaming, and very good, too.
Oh, thank you, Red. Say, what'd you do last night?
Oh, I went to a banquet. Oh, those long, drawn-out speeches. Say, did you ever notice the different type of public speakers that we really have?
No, Red, I never have.
You never did, eh? Well, to start off, we have the Toastmaster, a guy who has a radiant personality. He's always well lit. And he has trouble with the microphone, and nothing he says makes sense. He's one of these type of guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, pipe down, will ya? Where do you think you're at, in a public library?
Hey, Chris, you been drinking?
Well, you don't get this way from eating peanuts.
Maybe the mic isn't on.
No, maybe not. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, Can. I've got an idea to quiet them down. Give me that bottle of gin, will you? That did it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. That due to the fact that Monday comes on Tuesday this Wednesday, our regular Thursday meeting will be held on Friday this Saturday because Sunday's a holiday. What's the matter? Where's the floor for? I think while I've got the floor, I think I will go ahead and make my own speech. Where'd everybody go? Did you ever see a little kid making a speech at school? One of those little mean guys, you know, and his mother has to prompt all the time. Look, I'll be the little boy, Harriet, and you be my mother.
Okay,
huh?
Red.
I'll be the mean guy.
Now, Junior, be sure and face the audience and talk loud.
No, I changed my mind. I don't want to do that.
Oh, yes, you will. Do you
No.
see this razor strap?
Yes, I see the way to try.
You know what I'm going to do with it?
Well, what do I care? Go ahead and shave.
Now, look. You act like a little gentleman. Someone's coming.
Yeah.
Well, 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 what a nice little boy.
Here, my little man. Come here and let me pat you on the head. Ooh. He's got all his teeth, hasn't he? You better see a doctor because they told me I'd like poison, like snake bite. Isn't he a cute little fellow? What kind of a speech are you going to make, Junior? Now, wait a minute. Let's not get nosy, Bob. Listen, young man, do you know who I am? No. Well, take a good look at my face. Well? What is it, true or false? Come on, Mom, let's cram out of here.
Junior, wait. Where are you going?
I'm going over to the amusement park and throw a skunk into the tunnel of love. Come on.
Junior! You come back here.
No.
Now, don't worry, mister. He'll go on.
Oh, no, I won't, Nita. I want to go over and see how Pop made out at the racetrack. Come on, let's go.
Junior, here, put your shirt tail in. I'll comb your head.
Yeah. I'll introduce him. They won't like me. Oh, Junior, these people will love you. Why, they're just your type. You mean they got no forehead?
Junior!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, little Junior Stilton. No, I don't.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to. Come, little fellow. No, I am scared. I don't want to. Now. I don't want to go. Oh, I wouldn't cry like that. Well, you cry your way, Bub. This is my way. I can't think of what to say.
Oh, well, don't be scared, darling. You go on out and I'll prompt you.
Would you?
Yes. Now run on out there.
Okay. Gee, look at the people. Ladies and gentlemen,
I stand here.
And I stand here and,
looking into your faces.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand here looking into your faces, I see that there is a lot of faces that really need looking into.
No. Junior, recite your poem.
Which one?
Algae.
Oh, no, that would lay an egg with this mob.
Go on, recite your poem anyway.
All right, I'll do it. Algae. Algae saw a bear. The bear saw algae. The bear was bulgy. The bulge was algae. Then we have America's favorite speaker, the politician. Everybody likes him, but nobody believes him. One of these
and
guys.
now, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Skelton from the state of Collapse.
Thank you, fellow voters. Thank you. I am more than delighted to be here in your beautiful city of Hollywood, where visitors are greeted with open arms.
Hit the road, you bum!
Hollywood, the city that welcomes strangers.
Get out of town!
Tourists. I'm here to tell you that I'm going to help you with your troubles in Washington. Yes, I may stay here a couple of months, but I doubt it.
Hey, Senator, how are you going to balance the budget?
Quiet, little man, or I'll revoke your breathing license.
Now, listen to me. I'm John Public. And if you don't tell us how you're going to balance the budget, we're going to come up and get you.
Now, wait a minute, John.
Come on, fellas. Let's get this phony.
Now, get away from him, you know. And so, dear John, good night. The speaker that really makes the most...
Excuse me, Mrs. Skelton.
Well, wonderful Smith.
You know, you making them speeches, you sure was good.
Thanks.
Well, you should have heard me make a speech the other night at the Harlem Chamber of Commerce.
Really something, huh?
Yes, sir. And Congress is now debating whether I should arm myself or not.
Why, what happened?
Well, while I was speaking, someone gave me a hot foot with a blowtorch.
Give you a hot foot with a blowtorch?
Yes, sir. And that was my first fireside chat.
Very good. Say, what kind of a speech did you make?
Well, it went something like this. Brothers, for the past 3 years, you have been eating pig feet. But if you votes for me, I'll give you something higher up on the hall. How am I doing?
You sound like the Santa Monica streetcar. You don't care whether you make it or not. Say, you should talk to somebody who really knows about speeches and help you.
Oh, well, I know how to get that right here on the telephone.
Well, go ahead.
Hello, operator? Give me the Speaker of the House in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Hello, Speaker Rayburn. This is Wonderful Smith. Yes, sir, and I need a few pointers on how to be a great speaker.
Well, you better hang up. He's a pretty busy guy, you know.
You say every successful speaker's got a glass and a pitcher of water handy? Do it just have to be water? But, Mr. Speaker, water don't agree with me. It ain't got no vitamins.
That other stuff hadn't got any vitamins either.
I know, but if I'm going to mix my vitamins, it's got to taste good. What'd you say, Mr. Speaker? Oh, yes, I'm running for political office. Yes, sir, I'm a good politician. And if I was elected, I'm going to be the best politician that money can buy.
Pardon me, boy, he's at the Chattanooga Choo-Choo on track 29. Boy, you can give me a shine. I can afford to board a Chattanooga Choo-Choo, 'cause I got my fare. At least I had it here somewhere. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blow and take to the bar, then you know the Tennessee is not very far. Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep her rolling. Choo-choo Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station, all satin and lace, I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam. Choo-choo Chattanooga, choo-choo, choo-choo me home. Oh, choo-choo, choo-choo.
Say, Red, I'm just a little worried.
See, you had time there for a commercial.
Well, I thought you missed an announcement there, Red, on the other page, you know.
Oh, I did? Oh, that was Ozzie Nelson
Thank
and the
you,
boys
Red.
heading south on the Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
Say, Red, I'm a little worried.
You are, Brad? What's the matter?
Well, I've just been figuring what this year's income tax is going to cost me.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. You won't go hungry. Just save enough Raleigh coupons and maybe you can get a ham sandwich.
Well, Red, I guess it can't be that bad. But, friends, taxes are a big factor these days. Those luxuries and extra things you want for yourself and for your home are costing you more than ever. But here's a solution. Smoke Raleigh cigarettes and save the valuable Raleigh coupons. They are redeemable for over 70 magnificent premiums. You'll find many things you've been wanting for a long time. You can get a complete set of silverware, automatic toasters, vacuum coffee brewers, complete poker sets, electric razors. And that's only a few. Now, we have a 60-page catalog illustrating in full color all the Raleigh premiums. It's free. For your copy, Just write Raleigh in care of the station to which you were listening. And friends, tonight start smoking Raleigh cigarettes. The pack with the coupon on the back. The cigarettes with the gold and rich tobacco blend. Raleigh cigarettes.
Oh, that was swell, Truman.
Thanks,
we
Red.
got it out.
Say, Red,
Yes?
I enjoyed your interpretation of the different types of speakers. But, say, did you ever see a nervous speaker?
Did I? I saw one guy that was so nervous he turned green.
He turned green?
Yep, he was so green that a nearsighted lady came up, opened his mouth, and tried to mail a letter in it.
What do you say, Red? Let's show the folks a nervous speaker.
Okay, as the scene opens, though, we find him at home getting ready to go to the banquet.
Hurry up, dear. You only have an hour to get to the banquet.
Yeah, I know. Say, have I got any clean shirts?
No, they haven't come back from Santa Anita.
Hey, where are my socks?
They're on their way back from the laundry.
What are they doing, hitchhiking?
Well, you'd have plenty of socks if you took off the old ones before you put on the clean ones.
Gee, I guess I better run over my speech, hadn't I? Gentlemen and ladies.
Oh, say ladies and gentlemen, you dope. Ladies are before gentlemen.
On what bus?
Are you about ready to go?
Yeah, as soon as I fasten this tight collar. There it went again.
Oh, here, let me help you. My, I think your Adam's apple's getting bigger every day.
Yeah.
What an Adam's apple? How did it get so big?
Irrigation. Oh, that darn collar. There it went again.
I tell you, it's your Adam's apple that's doing it.
Well, I can't leave it here.
Well, don't swallow.
Yeah.
Come on, hurry up. Get your coat out of the closet.
Okay. That closet must have been left over from the Fibber McGee and Molly program. Well, I'm all ready. How do you like my dress suit, huh? Actually, how do you like my dress suit?
It looks like the Chattanooga Choo-Choo had a wreck at Tuxedo Junction.
Oh, thanks. Hey, what are these white things all over my coat?
Maws, shake 'em off.
Okay. Now I know what they mean by keep 'em flying.
Well, come on, let's go. Where's the car?
It's stacked up outside.
I thought you had it parked in the backyard.
I did, but the gophers kept dragging it down a hole. They thought it was a relative. Well, here's the car. Get in.
I'll get in the back seat.
Okay, as long as I can hear you, so I'll know what to do.
Now wait till I sit down.
Okay.
Ow!
What's the matter? Oh, thanks. Gee, I've been looking for that oil can for 3 weeks. Well, let's go. Gee, there sure are a lot of people here at the banquet, aren't there? Gee, I'm probably the next speaker, too.
What's the matter? You nervous? Stop shaking.
I'm not shaking. I got a hangover from a pinball machine.
Oh, well, don't be nervous. These people don't expect anything.
Is that why they all got ropes?
They're probably cowboys.
Yeah, well, I ain't no little doggy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Red Skelton.
Oh, boy, Red Skelton's going to make a speech.
Oh, snap out of it. That's you, moth-eaten.
Oh, yeah. Well, ladies and ladies and ladies and could I have some water, please? Some water? Yeah, some water.
Do you want it in a glass or a cup?
No, just wrap it up in a napkin.
Go on with your speech.
Here, have another drink of water.
If I drink any more water, they'll have to build a dam behind me. Oh, there went my collar again. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a few notes. I have a few notes I would like to read from. I got a frog in my throat.
You've always got a frog in your throat.
I know, but this time he brought a friend. I have notes to read from, I quote, Mr. Skelton, unless you make a payment on your car... Wrong note. And in conclusion, I would like to use a phrase that George Washington used in his farewell address. Goodbye.
Say, Red, you know, there's one very excellent speaker you've overlooked tonight.
Well, who could that be, Brad?
Why, the gentleman who speaks for our companion sponsor. Listen.
Gentlemen, if you want pipe smoking satisfaction at its very best, smoke Sir Walter Raleigh. It's the quality pipe tobacco of America. In fact, if you paid $100 a pound for a special mixture, you couldn't get a finer quality. Sir Walter Raleigh has a rich, mellow taste and flavor, a pleasing, fragrant aroma, and it burns just exactly right. Extra cool, even, and slow. It's little wonder Sir Walter Raleigh is a big favorite in the Army, in the Navy, in the Marine Corps, on American college campuses. Yes, everywhere you find men who know and appreciate quality smoking. You'll like Sir Walter Raleigh, too. Give it a trial tonight.
Remember, we'll all be back again next week. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his music, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and your announcer, Truman Bradley. Now, Red Skelton again.
We're a little early, folks. Goodbye now.
This is the Red Network of the National Broadcaster Company.
The Life of Riley. The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
In Washington, a group of the nation's top economists have been meeting day and night to solve the problem of inflation. After months of intensive study, these experts, men with international reputations, are forced to admit that they are baffled. But little do they know that 3,000 miles away in a modest California bungalow, a riveter of little education has succeeded where they have failed.
Peg! Peg! Where are you, Peg?
What's the matter, Riley?
I got it licked.
What? What happened?
I got it licked. Inflation. You know what's the cause of inflation? High prices. And you know what happens when prices are high? We can't pay our bills. And do you know why we can't pay our bills? Because we haven't got enough money.
And you figured all that out by yourself.
Well, sure I did.
I thought maybe you had your friend Jim Gillis helping you.
I resent that, Peg. I don't need no help from Gillis. Anything that moron can think of, I can think of. What are you laughing at? Wait till I finish. You see, the reason we don't have enough money is we don't have a system. We don't plan. I bring home a paycheck, you all swoop down on it. At the end of the week, we're in a hole. Bring home another check, the next week, we're in another hole.
You're right about that.
Yeah, every week, we wind up in a hole. We ain't living like people, we're living like gophers.
And what do you propose to do about it?
We are going to live on a budget. Now, come here, I'll show you.
What are you doing with my jelly jars?
They were your jelly jars. Now they're our money jars.
Money jars? For what, Daddy?
Well, I got each one labeled, see? Insurance, telephone, electricity. This jar here, that's for clothes.
We put our clothes in that jar?
Junior, you learn by listening. So listen and I'll learn you. Every week I get my paycheck changed into silver. See, look, there, whole sack full, see?
Oh, Riley, this is crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. Watch how it works, and then we'll see who's crazy. Now, I split the coins up, and I put some money in each jar. Now, here's the insurance money. Here's for the telephone. Electricity. Cigars for me. Clothes for you, Peg.
I'll look fine in the street dressed in that.
No, wait a minute. No, I ain't through yet. There, that ought to cover you up. Now, one more jar. Entertainment and miscellaneous. Well, that's it. You see how neat it works out? Everything is taken care of. That is my new system.
Well, what about food and rent, Pop?
Food and rent?
Yeah, food and rent.
Why is it in every family there's always one wise guy?
He's right. What about food and rent?
Well, it's easy. I'll just get 2 more jars.
But you haven't any more money.
Why is it in every family there's always 2 wise guys? Gee, I thought I had this thing licked.
Riley, don't you see? Your salary just doesn't go far enough with prices the way they are.
Oh. Well, then I'll ask the boss for a raise.
Well, now you're talking sense.
Sure. I should have done it long ago. I deserve a raise. I'll do it.
Atta boy, Pop.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow morning I'm walking into the boss's office and I'll say, Stevenson, you one great. I've been working for you for 10 years, and what have I got to show for it? 59 measly bucks a week. I can't live on that. I don't even have any personal spending money. Why, every week when I go out and play poker with the gang, do you know what I have to do, Stevenson? I borrow money from underneath the linoleum in the kitchen where my wife's been hiding it. She don't know I've been doing it for years, so, I mean...
Oh, you have, have you?
No, I haven't. I mean... Junior, get another jar, a big one.
What for?
For my head. I think it's time I stopped using it.
Riley, you're kidding. You're going to ask the big boss for a raise?
Well, why not, Gillis? I'm due for a promotion. I've been holding this riveting job since before the war. 8 years. All I've done is rivet. And I read in a magazine once where a doctor said the vibration of riveting affects the noodle. And 10 years of it will make a man punch drunk.
So what are you worrying about? You still got 2 years to go.
Well, I got to make progress. Besides, I can't back out now. I already sent in word I wanted to see the boss.
Hey, you'll never get to see him. And a good thing, too. You ask him for a raise, he'll get sore and fire you.
Fire me? Not Stevenson. Why, him and me are like that. You remember when I had that fight with the foreman? He took my side. I heard him say to the foreman, Hawkins, if we're going to get any work done in this plant, you got to lay off Raliegh.
Oh, you didn't hear good. What he said was, if we're going to get any work done in this plant, lay Raliegh off.
Yeah, you're just jealous, Gillis, because...
Attention, Chester Riley. Report to Mr. Stevenson's office. Riley, report to Mr. Stevenson's office.
You hear that, Gillis? And you said I wouldn't get in to see him. Well, this goes to show you. Well, here I go, and I'll get that raise or else.
You ain't got the guts.
Oh, no. Well, you told the boys to listen to that loudspeaker. After I see Mr. Stevenson, I'm getting on that microphone and I'm announcing my promotion for the whole plant to hear.
We'll be listening, Riley.
And Gillis told the boys that they shouldn't worry about my attitude when I get my promotion because becoming a boss ain't going to change me one bit.
Oh, they'll be glad to hear that. I'll tell them right away.
Tell them on your lunch hour. Don't be wasting company time. Well, here I am, Millie.
Oh, go right in, Riley. He's waiting for you.
Say, Millie, keep that loudspeaker warmed up because when I come out, I'm going to have a very important announcement to make. Oh, hi, boss.
Oh, it's you, Riley. Come in.
Boss, I've been with you now for 8 years.
Riley, I've got a job for you.
Boss, you mean... Hey, this was a cinch. I didn't even have to...
We're starting production of the new BX-1 jet plane. I'm going to need every man in this plant. I'm up to my ears with conferences, so you've got to handle this for me.
Oh, well, you can count on me, Chief.
Now, go to this address here and ask them to... Wait a minute. Where's that design now?
Boss, you're trusting me with
here
the design of...
There you are. Ask them if this design is right. Now, don't lose it.
Oh, don't worry, boss. I'll guard it with my life. And to play safe, I'll memorize it right now. Now, let's see. Knit 1, purl 2, slip 1, purl 3. Boss, since when are we knitting jet planes?
What are you talking about, Riley? My wife is knitting a sweater, and she asked me to drop in at the knit shop and check this design. I forgot this morning, so I...
So you want me to go to a knit shop?
Well, I told you, Riley, I need every man on this BX1 job. You're the only one on the plant I can spare.
But you said the design... I thought you called me in for a promotion.
Riley, I have no time for jokes. Now, go on. I'm busy.
Sending me to a knit shop for his wife. I wouldn't even do it for my own wife. 8 years I slaved for him. How could he do this to me? How could he?
Oh, Riley, the loudspeaker's on. Are you ready with that announcement?
Huh?
The announcement.
Oh, you bet I got an announcement. Give me that mic.
Here.
Attention, men. This is Raleigh speaking. I have an announcement to make. We're all working for a money-grubbing, no-good heel. He's an ungrateful...
Riley, have you gone crazy? Turn that thing off, Millie. Riley, I ought to fire you for this. If it weren't for the fact that you've been with me since I started, I would. And I let you off easy. Get on that loudspeaker and apologize.
Apologize? I don't apologize to nobody.
Either you apologize or you're fired.
Hand me that mic. Attention, men. This is Raleigh again. A minute ago, I said we were working for a money-grubbing, no-good heel. I was wrong.
Well, that's better.
We're not working for a money-grubbing heel. You're working for a money-grubbing heel. I just quit. And then Peggy said to me, either you get down on your knees and apologize or you're fired. So what could I do?
You apologize.
No, I quit.
You what? Oh, Daddy.
After all, I got my pride.
But, Riley, you can't eat pride.
A man's got to keep his self-respect. And before I'd apologize to him, Peg, I'd rather see you begging in the streets. That's the kind of a man I am.
That a boy, Pop.
And let this be a lesson to you, son. This is what makes this country of ours great. When the boss gets out of line, you up and quit.
So you quit. What did you prove?
Equality, that's what I proved. That I'm just as good as that no-good heel. And don't worry, nobody. Till I land something, we'll take money out of the bank.
But we haven't got a bank account, Daddy.
I meant Junior's piggy bank.
Well, he emptied it last week.
Now, look, will you stop worrying? This is my problem. I'll get another job.
Well, I can get a job part-time, Daddy.
Yeah, so can I, Pop. I know whether it's a job.
Nothing doing. No kid of mine is going to work. I got my pride. Before I'd let you go to work to support me, I'd rather see you kids begging in the street.
Oh. Now you got the kids begging. And we haven't even got enough money to buy tin cups.
Now, Peg, I tell you, I'll get a job just like that.
But the other day you said a lot of riveters are out of work.
Oh, I'm through riveting. And I ain't making the same mistake I made years ago, starting at the bottom. No, sir. This time I'm starting at the top as an executive. I got what it takes to fill a swivel chair. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Riley's the name, Chester A. For a limited time only, I am considering offers for the position of general manager from business concerns in good financial standing.
I see.
You mind if I take a look at your book?
Oh, the books. Just a minute. I'll call Mr. Jenkins.
Well, let's make it fast, my good man.
Oh, this won't take long. Jenkins, throw this nut out.
How do you do, miss? I see by this ad here that your firm is looking for an assistant manager. Neat, capable, experienced, intelligent, male.
Well,
I'm a male. I understand you have an opening for a supervisor, sir. I understand you have an opening for an assistant shipping clerk. Please, sir, is the job still open for janitor? Believe me, sir, I can do this job perfect. I'll make good. I got the education and I got the experience. Believe me, I'll make a great errand boy.
Well, you're ambitious anyway. You'll do. Wait here, and I'll go and tell Mr. Babson.
Matthews?
Oh, yes, Mr. Babson.
That errand boy job is filled.
Filled?
Yes, here's the young man I hired.
Junior.
Pop.
My own flesh and blood. How could you do this to me?
Yeah, but
Taking
Pop.
the bread out of your own father's mouth. Me, your own father, the man who gave birth to you.
But Pop.
So help me.
The doctor who brought you into this world is going to wait a long time for his money.
And now back to the life of Raliegh with William Bendix as Raliegh. All week, Raliegh has been hunting desperately for a job. Any job, but without success. And every day around 5 o'clock, you can see him plodding wearily home, his shoulders drooping sadly, his face shrouded in gloom. It's almost 5 now. He's due to turn the corner. Yes, here he comes. But wait a minute. What's happened? This is a new Raliegh. Just look at him, spreading gaily down the street, a happy grin on his face.
Hey, Junior!
Hey, Raliegh, wait a minute. What's the rush?
Phyllis, congratulate me. Today I got my self-respect back again. Today I can take my place back as the head of the family.
Oh, you got your unemployment check.
No, I got a job, $100 a week with Continental Oil. Look, here's the contract.
Raliegh, you took one of them oil jobs?
Yeah.
But you got to go to Arabia for 10 years. You're leaving your family?
Well, it's just for a while, till I save up enough money to bring them over. I figure I'll have enough in a year.
Oh, a year, huh?
Yeah.
Raliegh, what do you know about Arabia?
Well, there's Arabs there and Arabs.
Just like I thought. You don't know the first thing about it. Did you ever hear of the Arabian Nights?
What about them?
They drive men to madness. All day long, the desert heat suffocates you, and then comes the night.
Well, I stay in nights.
You can't. You lie there in your miserable little tent, and the loneliness gets in your blood. Something roars you.
Where?
The Casbah.
No, not the Casbah.
The Casbah. Soft lights, incense, exotic drinks, gorgeous, alluring, sensual women.
No, Peg wouldn't let me.
Peg is halfway across the world. You can't help yourself.
I'll fight against it.
It's stronger than you are. You go in, you take a drink.
No.
Then another drink, and another, and another.
Oh, Gillis, I hate myself.
You can't help yourself.
I'll send for Peg. She'll make me stop.
You can't send for her. You're broke. You drunk up a whole year's salary.
Oh, this is terrible.
Wait, it gets worse. Peg can't come. You can't go to Peg. You're going mad with loneliness.
Oh, Gillis, what'll I do?
You do what everybody else does. You take a wife.
No. That's bigamy. That's illegal.
Not in Arabia. Another year goes by. What happens?
I send for Peg.
Hey, you're broker than ever. So you take another wife. Now you got 3 wives.
3? No. Bigamy, yes, but trigonometry, never.
It's stronger than you are. Another year, you're still broke. Another wife.
That's 4 wives.
But you're still lonely. You take another wife.
5.
Another.
6.
Another.
7.
And still another, and another, and another. Before you know it, you got 12 wives.
A round dozen.
Yeah. And them Arabian dames is plenty round.
But what'll I do with 12 wives?
You put them in a harem. You ain't Jester Raliegh anymore. You're Pasha Raliegh.
Oh, this is horrible.
Wait, it gets worse. Peg gets tired of waiting. She hears rumors about your wives. Some rat tips her off.
Who?
Me. She sprints to get her money enough out of her wages as a scrub woman and takes the first boat to Arabia.
At last.
There you are on the dock waiting for her, you and your 12 wives. She comes down the gangplank, her arms stretched out towards you, crying, "Raliegh, kiss me!" What can you say to her?
The line forms on the right.
I'm sorry I'm late, Raliegh.
Oh, Peg, you should have come sooner. I got 12 wives.
What? What are you talking about?
I didn't tell you. I got a job. I'm going to Arabia. Oil.
Arabia?
Yeah, oil. I'll send for you in a year. I have to go first.
I'll tell you where you're going. You're going to Mr. Stevenson and apologize and get your job back. You've been acting like a child.
No, I won't apologize. Rather than do that, I'll go to Arabia and suffer with 12 wives.
Are you out of your mind?
Raliegh, she's right. You stay here. Let me go to Arabia and suffer.
Well, I think I got everything packed now. Oh, Peg, hand me that pair of socks.
Riley, I won't let you do this. I just won't.
Now, be brave, Peg. It's the only thing. I can't let you and the kids starve.
You can apologize to Mr. Stevenson. I called him up and
Well,
he
you
said...
had no right to do that. I'm telling you for the last time, I'm the kind of a guy I do what I please and I say what I please and I don't apologize to nobody.
Now, just a minute. Don't you raise your voice.
I apologize. But not to Stevenson. If he wants me back, he'll have to apologize to me.
But Riley...
Peg, if you're going to come to the dock, you better get ready.
Oh, what's the use? I give up.
Women. No guts, always willing to apologize. They don't understand. If I apologize now, all my friends will look down on me.
Not me. I'll be the last one to look down on you.
Oh, it's you?
Yes, it is I. Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, Lord Digger, I didn't hear you come in.
I wouldn't worry about it, as long as you can hear me when I go out. Riley, is it true you've lost your job?
Yeah, and I can't find another, so now I'm going away. I'm going to bury myself in Arabia.
Why go to Arabia? Stay here and let me help you. I'll lend you money till you land something. You know me. When a friend of mine is flat, I always carry him.
Well, I don't like to borrow money from friends.
Then let me recommend you to the UEPHHS.
UEPHHS?
The Undertakers, Embalmers, and Pallbearers Helping Hand Society. Our motto is, dig down deep and put a body on his feet.
No, Digger, I got to take this oil job in Arabia.
Riley, why don't you come and work for me?
Well, that's nice of you, Digger, but what could I do in your business?
Well, you could... No, you couldn't do that. You could... No, you couldn't do that either. I guess you're right. You'd be just so much dead weight, and I have another bat already. Couldn't you get your old job back?
Well, not unless I apologize.
Then apologize.
No, I ain't apologizing. I got my pride.
Riley, I implore you.
Digger, I can't stand around here arguing. My boat leaves in an hour.
Oh, Riley, you and your foolish pride. But have it your way. Go to this molten desert and drill for oil. But I'm warning you, no good can come of it. Someday your epitaph may read, here lies Riley in Arabian soil, 6 feet down, floating in oil. He's lying here now on account of his pride. Between the heat and the oil, Riley's French fries. Cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Ashore. Peg, you and the kids.
Oh, what did you say, dear? I couldn't hear you on account of the whistle.
I said you and the kids better go ashore now.
Oh, yes, I guess we better.
Well, goodbye, Peg. I'll send for you as soon as I can.
Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye.
Oh, Riley.
Now, don't cry, Peg. I can't stand people who cry when they say goodbye. Goodbye, Junior. Goodbye, Pop. Don't cry, son. You're a big boy now. Goodbye, Betsy.
Oh, Daddy.
Now, don't cry, Babs. Junior, thanks. Now, stop crying. Remember, us Rileys never cry. Now, please stop crying. I want to take my last look at you while you're all smiling. That's more like it. Smile. That's it. A great, big, happy smile. Now let me look at you. I better go below now.
Riley, we still have a few minutes.
I know, but it's better this way. Goodbye.
Oh, dear. Goodbye, Riley.
Mom.
Goodbye, dear. Goodbye. Oh, Mother, I can't believe he's actually going. Oh, he doesn't want to go. It's just that foolish pride of his. Well, we better get off the boat.
Hey, Mom. Mom, look, coming up the gangplank. Isn't that Mr. Stevenson?
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, Mr. Stevenson. Mr. Stevenson!
Oh, hello, Mrs. Riley. Where's your husband?
Well, Mr. Stevenson, what are you doing here?
I came down here to tell that pig-headed husband of yours exactly what I think of him for running out on his wife and family this way. Arabia. All I want him to do is make a simple little apology so I can maintain a little discipline in my plans. But Mr. Riley is too proud. He'd rather desert his family and go to Arabia. Well, he can go, but not before I give him a piece of my mind. Where is he?
Well, I think I see him over there. I'll go get him. Hey, Pop! Hey, Pop!
Junior, you're still here?
Yeah, Pop, Mr. Stevenson's here.
Mr. Stevenson?
Yeah, he came down to...
He came to apologize. I knew he couldn't get along without me. Where is he?
Yeah, but Pop...
I knew he'd come crawling to me if I held out long enough.
Yeah, but Pop...
Let this be a lesson to you, son, how to handle the boss. Be independent. Act big.
Yeah, but Mr. Stevenson...
there he is.
There's Riley now.
Well, Stevenson, what have you got to say for yourself?
Riley, when I heard that you were leaving your family, I came down here to tell you that... You're a stubborn jackass. And as far as I'm concerned... So a pig-headed fool. And furthermore...
No, that's enough, boss. As long as you admit you're a stubborn jackass and a pig-headed fool, I accept your apology.
What? You accept my apology?
Why, sure, boss. I can be big about these things. Well, let's go home, Peg. Arabia's lost is Stevenson's game.
But Riley, I didn't... I came here to... I told you that
that's all right, boss. We all make mistakes.
I wasn't... I said you were... I came here to...
I told you. I forgive you. Now, let's forget all about it. Just pick up my bag there and follow me.
I told you what a revolting development this is.
Sure, that's what I always say.
The Rileys will return in just a moment.
Peg, you don't mean it. Stevenson didn't apologize?
No, Riley, he was bawling out. Only you didn't hear him on account of the whistle.
Oh.
You're lucky he's taken you back.
After what I said. Peg, I can't understand it. After all the things I've done to Stevenson in the 8 years I've been with him, and he never fired me.
Well, look at all the things you did to me in the 20 years you've been with me, and I never fired you either.
Well, you got a different reason. I'm irresistible. Kiss me, Conklyn.
Join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced and directed by Irving Brecker.